Well, like I just said, Panova was my selection on paper, and after what I've seen here...
With Tab, both have firm, but Panova is the worst way by a country mile here because we've been so many bets at a bigger price for it. It's been $4.60 to $4.20. Regal Award, $1.95 to $1.85, just back to $1.90 now. West of Swindon was as short as $4.40, now a $6 chance.
Prestige Olay missed the kick by a couple of lengths, and Panova's going back with it. Regal Award jumped well with West of Swindon. Kilman's about a length off those out deeper on the course and snicking back last. So it's the first favourite of the carnival. Regal Award the leader, 1,200 metres out by a length and a quarter West of Swindon. 2.5 to Kilman third, and they were followed by Prestige Olay, and they've got right away here. They've put the foot down mid-race. They're about 5 or 6 lengths in front. Col da Vinci is next on the inside of Panova. Single choices at the tail of the field. So the leader is Regal Award, coming past the 800 metres from West of Swindon. Then came Kilman a length and a half away, 3 wide. Triple Malt the centre, Prestige Olay the inside. They're 2.5, Col da Vinci, Panova, and last single choice as they run the corner. 600 metres to go. Regal Award snuck away. 2 lengths West of Swindon, Prestige Olay. Kilman under pressure, ridden along from Triple Malt. Then Col da Vinci, Panova to the outside. And at the tail of the field is single choice. So the leader is the favourite, Regal Award. 350 metres to go. Shook up, shown the persuader. 3/4 of a length in front of West of Swindon, chasing, but it's wayward. 2 further back, Panova running on. Regal Award has to dig in here. 150 metres to go. A length in front. Panova's a real threat. Regal Award gobbled up by Panova. Panova over the top, and it's Panova. It's going to be Chris Waller again. Panova first, Regal Award second, and getting going for third single choice, followed then by West of Swindon. A gap Triple Malt, Col da Vinci, a long gap Kilman, and last Prestige Olay.
Well, there we have it. Chris Waller with his 5th Carbine Club Stakes, and it's Panova. The late money came, Gator, and it produced.
Yeah, look, he just knows which horses to bring to this race, and history's there for a reason, to teach us lessons. And you heard from Jared, she was the best back runner, the only filly in the race. Sat back, looked a solid enough clip to give her chance.
Favourite punters were on the odds on Regal Award here, but Panova was just too strong late.
Absolute set play from the Waller camp with their fillies into this race. Fangirl, Aliana last year, Panova through midweek form, then a win in the Reginald Allen, settle off the speed, bowl over the top. Wasn't as dynamic as previous winners, but it probably wasn't a sprint home. Regal Award set a genuine tempo, and it called on stamina at the end of the day. She's a nice filly with obviously a very bright future ahead, and when you look at the honour roll...
Race punters are off to a great start here. Panova was very heavily backed in the first, and the investment is going straight into She's a Alibi here. I think Gator's even opened his wallet to back up his tip. Opened $2.80, got as short as $2.15, now $2.30, but more than 60% of the whole. With the fixed odds win bets are for She's a Alibi. Tane Olele, $7.50 to $5.50, just back to $6.50. Live has been really solid at around...
Set in their racing. Chatterley the best to begin with Lady Pankhurst, and also Live. She's a Alibi not too far away, and Milady Rose is showing plenty of speed as well. But Stardom looking to cross from Lady Pankhurst in second place as they complete the first 300 or 400 metres of the race. They were followed by Milady Rose. Amping Glass got to fourth. She's a Alibi and Live together. They were followed by Miss Revealing out 3 deep on the track. 2 lengths Icarian Dream in the back half, followed by our deeper Chatterley. Gisella the inside. Ruscaroma is towards the end with Tanalili. So as they reach the 800 metres, the leader is Stardom. 3/4 of a length Milady Rose. 2 lengths to Amping Glass. Third Lady Pankhurst. Fourth the inner. Miss Revealing deeper. A length and a half to Live. She's a Alibi tucked away on the rails in the green jacket. Further back then is Chatterley. Well back Icarian Dream. Also well back in the field is Gisella on the inside. Tanalili is second last, and at the back is Ruscaroma. Stardom the leader. 400 metres to go. Milady Rose shook up 3/4 of a length away. Then came Amping Glass the outside. Lady Pankhurst needs a run. She's a Alibi's behind a wall of horses. Miss Revealing down the centre, and Tanalili's winding up at the 200. They've got to start a Milady Rose. She's a Alibi got through. Accelerate. She's a Alibi from Tanalili, Icarian Dream, and the favourite's too good. She's a Alibi wins it. Came away a length and 3/4. Tanalili second, Icarian Dream third, followed by Ruscaroma, and next in the field Miss Revealing from Chatterley and Live.
Anything but simple, that one, but in the end, She's an Alibi, as so many expected, and back late as well, comes through with the win ahead of Tina Lely and Icarian Dream. Ali?
Open, and as soon as it did, Ollie, just went bang.
Yeah, it just showed great acceleration there. One to follow this one for sure. I mean, she put up a good run behind Tentaris, who we saw later on come out and win the Coolmore, and when she burst clear, she showed some nice acceleration. And 10A Alele was a good run down the outside too, coming off her unlucky run at Moonee Valley. So, yeah, nice run from her.
Yeah, I'm not sure if any of these fillies are, screaming to climb the heights, but stakes winner now, the winner, so that's important for her going forward, and others picking up.
These are on the floor so far here today at Flemington, even though here it is Get a Good Feeling, solid, rock solid at $1.60. It is $2.80 for the Oaks on Thursday. Probably will shorten if it wins this today. Fashionable, $8.50 into $7.50. Not much to report from anything else. Freedom Flame's been between $8 and $8.50. Prestige Schnitzel is...
They're racing. Ethereum Girl just about beat them out with voting rights. Get a Good Feeling's nice and close, and also Freedom Flame is whipping up out wider in the red, white and blue. Fashionable got to about fourth. Ethereum Girl is next on the inside. They were followed by Prestige Schnitzel. Then came Strictly Business as they reached the 1250. Freedom Flame is the leader and settled the tempo from the favourite Get a Good Feeling. 2 lengths voting rights. Fourth is Fashionable. 2 lengths Prestige Schnitzel outside of Ethereum Girl. They were followed by Perfect Night, and then Strictly Business as Chris Mira drops back to a clear last, a length and a half away. Freedom Flame 1,000 metres out at a neutral speed, leading out by a length. Get a Good Feeling. Voting rights is third, no change in the order. Fashionable fourth, one off the fence, a length and a half. Prestige Schnitzel, Ethereum Girl. Then Perfect Night, Strictly Business, Chris Mira as they approach the turn in the Wakefall. 700 metres to go. Freedom Flame has controlled the tempo to now. Get a Good Feeling, if anything, is just getting a little bit closer. A half length away. Fashionable dug up 3/4 of a length away third. Voting rights is next, and then Prestige Schnitzel. Ethereum Girl waited with from Perfect Night. Strictly Business well back, and Chris Mira as they dash up at the 400 metres. Freedom Flame by a neck. Get a Good Feeling the outside. Zara has not moved yet. 2 lengths Fashionable who battles on. Then Voting Rights getting into the clear. Prestige Schnitzel out wider. Get a Good Feeling let down. 200 metres to go. Puts up 3 lengths. Strictly Business running on from Voting Rights. Fashionable. Get a Good Feeling with 50 metres to go is racing clear and won it by a length and a half and dialed down late from Strictly Business. Voting Rights. Fashionable. Then Ethereum Girl. Next to finish Perfect Night in company with Chris Mira, Prestige Schnitzel and Freedom Flame after leading.
Well, we spoke at the start of the day's coverage of whether or not Mark Zara could be the story of the carnival, and he's taken a big step towards it there, guiding Get a Good Feeling, the pre-race favourite, to what has turned out, Ali, to be a comprehensive win here.
It was just a beautiful watch, wasn't it, Brace? That's exactly how you like to watch your $1.60 favourite travel in the run. She sat outside the lead, goes across the line with her ears pricked. She's a beautiful filly. And
this race is the best guide to the Oaks. Got to Get a Good Feeling. I think it was as short as $1.55 and now is $1.80 in the Oaks. Is that right price or unders?
No, I think it's about the right price, yeah. She's been the dominant filly, especially getting out to a trip now, trained by Danny O'Brien, who's got a great record with his staying horses, and I was a bit surprised she went forward there yesterday, but it's good she went. I thought Mark might ride a little quieter from a wide gate, but he took luck out of the equation, put her up there, and, she won comfortably. The second horse was a nice run, only its third start in the race, coming off a 1,400-metre maiden, so sort of one to keep an eye on as well.
I reckon this is the worst Wakeful I've seen in a long, long time. And the winner's by So You Think, that's what's carrying her through. It's a sprint mile pedigree. No tempo in this race, and it was a dash home, and she had the best turn of foot. I think the runner-up, getting to 2,500 metres on Thursday, I'm looking for something to make it a bit of a staying test. If it does become that, I think the runner-up could give her a really good run.
Really?
And you're going to get a lot better odds than $1.80.
OK, maybe some Sydney-siders will come down to strengthen up.
Jared's.
Well, Brace punters' wallets continue to fill up here at Flemington today, and they're investing in Zoo Sensation here, which has come up favourite after the scratching of the previous favourite at King Zephyr earlier today. 330 into 290, just back to 310 now. Second to Private Eye reads well for Warney. Punters agree it's been $6 into $5 in Zudo, $9.50 into $7. Payline's just out of point. The Queenslanders 7 out.
Then Skates crash. And And they're racing. Squeezed out shortly after the start, Regal Zeus and No Speed, St Lawrence Holy Man's. Media World jumped well, with also Coervalon, and there's the favourite right up there in the firing line, Zoo Sensation. Zoo Sensation crosses with Media World the outside, Coervalon behind them, Mighty Ulysses deeper, then Payline Instituto, a gap Warney, Regal Zeus. Further back is St Lawrence to Party and Holy Man's at the tail of the field. So the field reached the 900 metres where the leader is Zoo Sensation, but there's pressure coming from Mighty Ulysses out 3 wide, and Media World is stuck between them, and they're 2 lengths in front of Payline. Coervalon 5th on the rails. Next in the race is Instituto. Then came Warney midfield. It's a little wide from Regal Zeus and well back St Lawrence Holy Man's and Stapati. They thunder around the corner. 550 metres to go. Zoo Sensation in front, 3/4 Media World. They were followed by Coervalon, who's tucked away behind the speed. Further back Mighty Ulysses, Payline wider. Regal Zeus is next, followed by Warney trying to wind up 4 or 5 off the front, but still coming on. And then came Stapati. Zoo Sensation at the clock tower of the 200 metres, extended about a length and 3/4 Media World and Warney. Zoo Sensation 100 to go. Warney wearing it down. Zoo Sensation joined and headed by Warney. Warney wins at a half. Zoo Sensation. Photo third, thrusting up the line in Studo and Stapati. Then Payline. Next to Lawrence Holy Man's, Mighty Ulysses, Media World, Regal Zeus and Coervalon at the end of the field.
Well, we mentioned pre-race. He's a punter's favourite here at Flemington, and we just saw why. Warney bowling them over. Mark Zara celebrating yet again. That was something special over the last 100. Simply too good. And victory for Warney here. And what a finish from Mark Zara there, Ali.
Oh, he just lifted him.
Now, because we're ready for the first Group 1 event of the day, the Coolmore Stud Stakes. This is the race that makes stallions of the future. It is
for the Coolmore Stud Stakes, the first of our Group 1s over 1,200 metres, and 12 runners for us here today. We get a tab market update with Gerard.
It's been a big battle for favouritism between the Godolphin pair, but the market is really warming to 10 Tyrus here, now into $2.90, having been, or $4.20 on Wednesday. Bayvakt, open 320 favourite, now 360. Beedman, good support for Beedman. One customer had 9,000 at $5 about 20 minutes ago. Skyhook's next best back to the rest, and there's each way support for Skyglider, even though
Ready for the Coolmore, and they're racing. Jumping fairly, 10 Tyrus goes back towards the end. Legacy Bound jumped quickly with Skyglider. Skyhook isn't far away on the inside, and Beedman forcing forward. McGaw out wide, virtually on its own, is leading up there as well. So after 250, Beedman led Skyglider and McGaw wider. Legacy Bound and also Bayvakt, as McGaw is all on its own up the outside. Beedman led the division on the flat side by a length. Legacy Bound, Skyglider and also Bayvakt. They were followed next by Raging Force, behind them Hidden Motive and also Jimmy Ricard. Towards the back My Gladiola, with also 10 Tyrus and Tycoon Star. Onto the course proper in the Coolmore, 500 to go. Beedman just in front of Bayvakt, who's called upon nice and early. Legacy Bounders next, followed by Skyhook, Jimmy Ricard, Tycoon Star the outside. 10 Tyrus is starting to weave through. 200 to go across the track. 10 Tyrus explodes through for Zara. Took the front, draws clear from My Gladiola. 10 Tyrus is pounding away, and 10 Tyrus a spectacular win. My Gladiola second, third Legacy Bound. They were followed by Bayvakt. Skyhook is next, then Tycoon Star, Skyglider, Raging Force. Further back, Jimmy Ricard. McGaw well back with also Beedman, and also back with those horses, Hidden Motive. 10 Tyrus.
So it's 10 Tyrus, and yep, you guessed it, it's Mark Zara ahead of My Gladiola, Legacy Bound and Bayvakt. And again, that man Mark Zara, Michelle, he's starring and oh so soon in this Cup Carnival.
He is, and this horse, they said that he got better into the preparation, and they weren't wrong. He just had the beautiful sit off them, so strong.
Tyrus. This horse at one point was favourite for a golden slipper before he went to miss. So they gave him an extra bit of time off. They prepped him up, gave him the furnishing that they needed to come back and do this as a 3-year-old. Hasn't he developed into a beautiful colt?
Well done to Team Friedman as well. They had to nurse this horse through a late start to the spring, and this was the target. Who knows? We may even see him back up in the sprint on Saturday. Let's have a look at the race from the start, Ollie, because I want you to talk me through this. He got a little bit of a squeeze out of the gates and he settled back. Maybe it was a blessing because he got good cover, Ollie, and he was explosive when that gap came.
That's right. Sometimes you have to die for the cause a little bit down the straight. You know, smother your horse up. Those horses are on the speed. We're working each other a little bit. Those speed horses don't get so rewarded down the straight. They lose that advantage of kicking off the bend. And it was a perfect ride by Mark, even though he was probably a little bit hemmed in away there. He needed the run, but when the run came there, he got there in plenty of time. And, you know, he went from being in an awkward position to be dominating a race really quickly.
You make a really good point with those on-speed horses, and Bayvakt was probably one of those. You saw as the pressure came on, he just got the wanders up a little bit, wanted to drift to his right slightly, and then he was picking up late and through the line, but the race was all over, whereas the winner and the runner-up, to a degree, were able to come through the field. So not necessarily looking for that corner. Bayvakt just a little bit in no man's land there, and it probably worked against him. But we've been waiting for a colt to stand up and announce themselves as, you know, hey, I'm the big dog here. Tyrus has been such a carefully planned program. Sam and Anthony Friedman, when they set one final target trainers, when there's a big Group 1 on the line.
Well, he probably should have won the Blue Diamond. He was stiff. And then he went amiss before the Golden Slipper, where he may well have been the horse to beat in that race as well, Ollie. So he'd flown under the radar a little because of that and been off the scene. So I think the best horse won, there's no doubt about it. Even though I'm not sure we saw Bayvakt and Biedman first time down the straight at their best.
Yeah, possibly. But like I said, those speed horses, they lose their advantage down the straight. I'd much rather be on a horse that can relax and has got a strong finish down the straight. Generally, those horses are much better suited down the straight. You know, no disrespect, Flemington well.
Tell you what, there's a bet to be had in the upcoming Move to Strike Thoroughbred Club Stakes, the big $1 million fillies race. My Gladiola, when she goes there, boy, oh boy, and it's going to be a play.
And another great ride from James.
There. What kind of a derby are we going to get? Are they going to set a bit of a tempo here? Is it going to be a test of stamina? Or are we going to see what we think is the best horse just win? And
the bookies are on the ropes heading into the derby. If Observer wins here, it may well be a knockout. 230 into 210, very heavily backed here, although respect for the bets for Providence. Clearly best back to beat at $7.50 into $5. Order Mystery, $18 on Wednesday, $10 now. Options has just been 10 back to 12 at odds. Each way support for O'Shamus and Savvy Santa. What are you really gambling?
They are ready. Signal, and they're racing in the derby. Mila jumped away, only fairly. Observer out well with Savvy Santa. Azazel out quickly, and High Vol from the deep is also coming over. So at the winning post with a lap to go, the favourite's going to lead Observer with High Vol hunting across. Azazel kept it wide. Savvy Santa behind them from Options. Then Arcora wider. Next O'Shamus, who's between horses. Deal done fast on the rails as they leave the straight from Engine of War 3 deep. One step closer on the fence. Then came well back in the field by Providence, and then came Amazaki, Matsuda, well back in the field. Miwa, McWoody and Order Mystery to the top of the course at the 1,400 metres, and Mark Zara is going to try and take luck completely out of the equation and lead all of the way in the derby. It's Observer by about a length and 3/4, and slowed it up at Chiquita Lodge from High Vol. Savvy Santa third, and fourth is Azazel. A length Options, and then came Arcora, no speed on. Deal done fast is next, and then came O'Shamus. Around it 3 wide, Engine of War is progressing. A length 1 step closer, Providence. Matsuda around those horses. A length and a quarter, Amazaki. Then McWoody, Miwa, 2 lengths Order Mystery with a lot to do. So Observer led the derby at the 900 metres, 3/4 of a length in front, and has had a cheap run from High Vol. Azazel now hooks out 3 wide, a length off the lead. Savvy Santa behind those. They were followed by Options and Arcora. Engine of War's always been wide. It's 4 deep now. Matsuda 5 deep, trying to loop them. Next in the field, O'Shamus as they start to sprint it up around the corner. Deal done fast is next, and they were followed by 1 step closer, Amazaki. McWoody hooks the widest. So it's Observer has controlled the tempo. 400 metres to go. Zara sitting pretty, led Led by 2 lengths to Savvy Santa. Cora runs on, Deal done fast, and then whacking away 1 step closer. Now he calls for Observer at the clock tower. How much left at the 200 metres? A length and a half. Cora, Deal done fast. Observer, 100 to go. Grits his teeth. Led 3/4. Cora. Observer's holding them. He's the stronger. He's the winner. Observer won the Derby. Second, Cora. Deal done fast in a photo for third with 1 step closer. Then Savvy Santa, Providence, Miwa, Autumn Mystery. Behind them, O'Shamus, Options, Engine of War, High Vol, Amazaki, McWoody, Matsuda. And at the tail of the field, Azazel.
Wow, Observer from start to finish, simply brilliant with Mark Zara on board for win number 4 on the trot here today on Victoria Derby Day, and he does it in the feature. Back-to-back Group 1s in that as well. And that was something special, Michelle.
It sure was. He didn't do it the easy way. He actually got quite keen in front of the horse, but Mark was able to get a couple of cheap sectionals down the back, switch him off, and just what a classy galloper he is.
Really gave him a chance to relax and breathe, then give a nice strong kick. And look, he probably had enough on the line, but he was simply too good. A couple of roughies, second, third and fourth. But the winner, it's all on his winner here in the Derby.
All the right horses won, Ollie. And the vibe in the crowd, the punters were winning, bookies were getting cleaned up. It looked like the perfect Derby day.
Oh, it was an awesome day. I enjoyed the whole Melbourne
Victoria Derby. All the talk was about Observer. How would he handle the distance? He was the best horse in the race. It came down to whether he would be able to settle properly and run it out strongly. I thought Mark Zara rode it beautifully. It's easy to say when you're on the favourite, Ollie, but he did look like he wanted to get a bit revvy early, didn't he?
He did a little bit, but then he sort of, you know, once he got into a rhythm and the field settled, he got him back under himself. Interesting, you know, there was no notification of change of tactics from the other Kieran Maher runners, Matsuda and Amazaki. They were both forward runners, but they were both ridden quiet, so he did certainly get it on his own there.
And the other one that looked like it was likely to bring the VRC.
Bit of discussion about, well, maybe some other jockey should have put a bit of pressure on, but Ollie, it's difficult because you're almost damned if you do, damned if you don't. It might be good for horses sitting behind you, but if you're the one that wants to go up and pressure the horse, it may not be the best for your horse.
No, possibly not, but we've seen all the lead-ups have been slowly run races as well, so it ran true to form, and there was a couple of runners that looked that, you know, their form had shown they'd gone forward and they didn't do that yesterday. Sometimes it's not always up to the jockeys, it's up to connections, how they want the jockeys to ride the horses as well.
The other side of the winner?
Oh, look, obviously the winner's very good. The second horse was a great run, I felt. He sort of made a run at it. Looked like he was a chance to get him, but the winner had just had too soft a run in front. Deal Done Fast, which had a nice run back on the fence for Daniel Stackhouse and Matt Kamani. He ran home really well, but not much else really got into the race other than those three, just because of the pedestrian nature of the way the race was run.
Every year the winner looks good and there's good runs in the race. The question is, what toll does the race take on them long term? We hope that the winner comes back and turns into a nice weight for age middle distance horse, but you know, time will tell.
I love the fight because he better ask you, because there's been such an amount of discussion about it. Victoria Derby 2,500 metres, do you want to keep it at that distance or is it better at 2,000?
I hate this discussion. If you want to call it and move the distance back to 2,000, well, it's no longer a derby. It's just an average race. And then what are you going to call the day? Like, pathetic. Like, the derby is the derby. Every derby in the whole world's a mile and a half. If you want to have a 2,000-metre three-year-old race, well, it'll just be a boring race like the...
Is Damask Rose, and there's good place money for Benadryl. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website. So Like a Lucy for Ali and Idle Flyer. Back late here for Gator.
Thank you very much.
Is now $3.60 in favourite.
Thank you, Jared. Our tab market mover, Michelle, from a jockey's perspective, Mark Zara.
Third of the Group 1s. They're ready. Gates crash back and they're racing an Idle Flyer and a bounding beat them out. Like a Lucy, not too far off those. And there's Pride of Jenny as she does. Takes about 100 metres to get into her work, but off she goes. And Pride of Jenny led Idle Flyer on display of bounding, followed by Like a Lucy, Benazil. Back in the field is Fangirl. And then came along the inside, settling Firestorm towards the back to Mask Rose, splash back, and at the tail of the field, Lazura. So the leader is Pride of Jenny, as she loves to do towards the 1,000 marker, leading out by by 4 or 5. Idle Flyer second, third Abounding, a length and a quarter on display. A length Benadryl, a length Like a Lucy. 3 further back is Fangirl, then Firestorm, Damask Rose, Splashback, and last of all Lazura. So through halfway, 800 metres to go, and Pride of Jenny has extended. She's about 9 or 10 lengths in front, approaching the corner from Idle Flyer second, third Abounding, then on display Benadryl, Like a Lucy is 16 at least off the lead. Back behind those horses, Fangirl, followed by Firestorm, Damask Rose, Splashback, and Lazura. So Pride of Jenny looking to be the first multiple winner of the Empire Rose at the 400 metres. She's 8 lengths, 9 lengths in front of Like a Lucy on display. Abounding, battling on Benadryl and Fangirl. Pride of Jenny, 200 metres to go. She's getting a little bit weary, but she's still 6 or 7 lengths in front of Like a Lucy. Pride of Jenny, stand up and cheer. This is going to be a famous win, a multiple winner of the Empire Rose. Pride of Jenny, you are a beauty. Like a Lucy will run second. On display in a photo for third with Fangirl or Lazura, Firestorm behind them. Splashback, Benadryl, Damask Rose, Abounding, and Idle Flyer. What a horse she is.
Well, there's the Pride of Jenny we know and love, and starting with a flurry and finishing it off, and simply brilliant with Declan Bates aboard today. Kieran Maher, having a day as well here as honestly, Francesca, when we see this each and every time, and on a stage like this, to do it again, remarkable.
I love these tactics. Absolutely love it. It's like putting a gap on the field and seeing if they can catch. And it's such a skill from a jockey, because you've got to go within your horse, not ask her too much, and just have enough left to fend them off late. But what is she? She's an 8-year-old now. That was her 42nd start. That was her 12th win. She gives her absolute all. Wouldn't you love to own a horse like this? What an absolute star.
And an incredible training performance as well from Kieran Maher to have her here.
We're carrying around, but after 100 metres in the race, I knew we were winning. She floated to the top nicely and just kept extending every time I asked, and I just knew I don't think there's anything here can run us down. And yeah, she did get tired late, but the job was done, and she's...
Seriously, how could words possibly describe that girl and your emotions at the moment?
Ecstatic and appreciative, respectful. Just an amazing horse. Just to continually do what she does. She never ceases to amaze me. I can't thank my team, Deck.
Her strength, and her best strength is high cruising speed, running along and running time from the front. And if you're running that sort of time from the front, 134 and change, you're going to win a lot of races, and that's exactly what she's done.
And to win the same Group 1 race on Derby Day, also winning this race in 2023. Poor old, have to feel for Mark Zahra, only finished second in that one. So 4 on a trot and then a second for Mark Zahra on.
There is nothing more spectacular and exhilarating than a horse that gets out with a lead like Pride of Jenny.
Yeah, and she's so well known. You know, I remember going to the races last spring when she won the fee, and that night there was such a young crowd that are all screaming her name. She's got a very, very loyal fan base that dial in every spring expecting to see her go and do exactly what she did at Flemington yesterday. When she's in full flight, she's a joy to watch. And I was surprised by the social media commentary, punters, pundits, you name it, who want to half put a sword through her. If you don't want to back her, that's fine, but you can't take away the joy of watching her, Ollie.
No, not at all. I mean, you can't take anything away from her. I mean, that race there yesterday was a little bit of a lack of on-pace sort of runners, and some were critical of the jockeys' rides in the race, but there was nothing in that really race to go with her, and that's when she's at her best, when she can get a break on the field, and it breaks the other horses' hearts trying to chase her, and then they just can't pick her up.
If there was any expectation, like looking at the form of this race and looking at the runners, she was going to get an uncontested lead and do whatever Declan Bates wanted to do out in front. If you couldn't work that out pre-race, you need to watch more films.
It was a great ride by Declan, though. He rode to her strengths and the others' weaknesses.
Now, there was a lot of talk about other jockeys. Why didn't they try to go with her, get closer? But it's easy to say that, Ollie. In reality, how do you do it?
Well, I mean, like that, the way that race set up, there was no strong milers on pace that could go with her. So, I mean, if you do try and go with her, you just bust yourself doing it. So, I mean, as I said, it played into Jenny's strengths and the others' weaknesses.
And they make a wonderful partnership, Declan Bates and Pride of Jetting. Let's hear from Deck after the race.
Briasa's in a good position, Jimmy Star. You come away with a whack full of money, don't you?
So Briasa beats home Jimmy Star, then regardless of where they are, they get the lump of money. So that's what... a little battle within a battle, if you like, between...
A little bit easy in the past 5 minutes or so, Bruce, but he's still a very popular favourite. So historically, it says that the Russell Balding winner comes through the Tab Everest, hence why there's a domination of betting here. So Jimmy Star, $2.80, Briasa, $5.50, Lady Shenandoah, $6.50, and War Machine, a $7 chance. And interesting enough, he was the shortest of the lot of them as far as starting price goes in that Tab Everest. Out to Private Eye, who always has an army of fans. The old warrior, he won this race back in 2022. He's $8.50 and $23 and longer for the rest, and that is headed by Marzu. But Jimmy Star to this point accounts for nearly 50% of the current hold on.
It's a big payday for the winner. Dara lets them go and it's game on. And Coal Crusher wide out began well. So did a more victorious in the pink cap pushing through. And Golden Mile is right there as well. From Marzu, Rothfire, and War Machine is not too far away. Darting up the inside with your blessing. Followed by Briasa there, one off the fence. Jimmy Star down on the rails. Lady Shenandoah 3 wide. Iona Merck is 4 wide. Strauss in the middle of the pack. And a gap back to Private Eye, who settles with the rear enders, Waterford, as they race inside the 750 metres. And the front runner is Marzu from a more victorious Coal Crusher out wide, followed by Golden Mile. With your blessing there on the rails, War Machine between them. Rothfire is the deepest, followed by Briasa. Lady Shenandoah moved up on the outside of Briasa, and Jimmy Star riding for luck on the fence. Into the straight, Marzu swings in front by 2 lengths now on a more victorious Coal Crusher with your blessing. Jimmy Star angling away from the rails, looking for the run. Briasa's not in the hunt. Marzu leads at the 250. Here comes Jimmy. Jimmy Star moved up, took the lead away from Marzu. Then Lady Shenandoah and Coal Crusher. Jimmy's clearing the Russell Balding. It's a big win for Jimmy Star. Wins it by 3 lengths. Lady Shenandoah best of the rest second. Marzu third. A gap to Coal Crusher, Private Eye and Strauss. Further back to a more victorious. Then with your blessing, Briasa never a factor. From Airman, War Machine, Waterford. A big gap back to Golden Mile, Rothfire. And it hasn't been a good day to be in Mercedes. Iona Merck finished last.
No, but a good day to be a star sprinter, and Jimmy Star's just that. 4th up today. He won the All-Age Stakes 4th up in that incredible spring of his when he won an Oakley Plate. This was dominating today, Lizzie and Richo. This horse has gone to another level again today, I reckon.
Have a look at this ride, though. He was following with your blessing, and he was like, shall I go to the rail? No, I'm going to switch around and go in between tired horses. He presented him at the perfect time. You could see that Coal Crusher, Marzu, they were getting really weary in their legs, and only Lady Shenandoah was making a bit of an impact. But he's a star, Jimmy Star. He had no luck whatsoever in a couple of runs, and clearly he was the best bet.
Jimmy Star with Kieran Maher, and the perfect ride from Ethan Brown here. Ollie, he just plotted his path, waited his time, and let Jimmy do what Jimmy does.
Yeah, he sure did. Beautiful ride there by Ethan. He's really clicked with this horse, and he's riding so well in Sydney, and he just, you know, weaved his way through, and Jimmy was too good.
He's got a great turn of foot, this horse. It was the wettest track he'd been on, but no problems at all. The market told you that the confidence was there around him. Lady Shenandoah back running a good race. Michael Otchide won at 80 to 1 in this race, and on the corner I thought, I'm a shout here. Coal Crusher will go to the Hunter, and he'll win the Hunter. He is flying, that horse. Yeah. He ran a phenomenal race there at a huge price, running 4th.
How well is the CF4 stacking up in its new place this year? You've got Jimmy Star. The plan is to back Giga Kick up from the sprint into the CF4 and Angel Capital as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really good race.
The Eagle, for the first time, lands at Royal Randwick. Another global lineup of 4-year-olds, headed by an unbeaten wonder mare.
And Autumn Glow remains unbeaten.
This Eagle...
Combination of the best of the 4-year-olds in Australia, led by this unbeaten one. We don't know her ceiling. Her name is Autumn Glow. We know that linebacker's really good. Of course, in Autumn Glow's camp is the ultimate duo in McDonald and Waller, the pride of New Zealand. And then coming over from England is Seagulls 11 with...
their time. She's had setbacks. She was scratched on the day of the Flight Stakes when she was a $1.40 favourite. Her first big test, we thought, at that time. How does she compare with some of those other outstanding mares that we've seen in the first 7 starts? So Winx, we see her at this is at the end of their 4-year-old spring, and where she's got to now. So Sunline, a lot more mature. Atlantic Jewel, exactly where she's at. And Winx, of course, a lot more mature. But it's a comparison. Take Winx out for a moment, because she ended up being
$1.70. So 70, Bruce, $1.70. So the hype machine is in overdrive for this mare, and it does look completely justified. Unbeaten, picket fence, she looks the complete racehorse, and the punters have backed her, with the exception of all other runners. So $2.20 open into $1.70. And cast your mind back a few weeks ago to Kaying Rising. Autumn Glow holds 4 times the amount of the Hong Kong superstar Autumn Glow, currently $1.70. Linebacker, see Evaporate $10, out to Sepples $19, and Perfumist, who does look your leader from the inside gate, $21. But one-way traffic for your favourite Autumn Glow, $1.70 favourite. You wins there, covered in darkness, and looked like somebody turned the lights out. Well, I tell you what, that's what Tab headquarters will look like if Autumn Glow wins, because it is the biggest hold that Tab has seen in the past couple of decades. There's a lot of multi-rolls going into this horse. There's a lot of outright money, so $1.70 favourite.
The Golden Eagle of 2025. Starter about to hit the button. Does so. Racing. Perfumist jump beautifully off the inside. Crystal Clear away well, together with Fully Lit the outside. Linebackers right there, taking up a nice position. Seagulls 11 on the rails. They're followed, pushing through to Seapoles right up on top of the action. So Perfumist leads after the first 200 from Crystal Clear second. Seapoles gets to third. Seagulls 11 fourth on the rails. Fully Lit out wide with work to do. Going around the outside of Linebacker. Autumn Glow improves her position. Autumn Glow, she's going to park outside Linebacker. Then Punja Tower, midfield down on the fence. Further back then to Evaporate. Crystal Clear deeper out, a gap then to Depth of Character from Feroce. Mayfair's in a wide position as they travel to the turn from Medella. Lord Penman and Willie Do It is back last of all. Perfumist has the lead all on its own. Coming to the home turn, it's Perfumist out by a length and a half. Crystal Clear in the orange jacket second from Fully Lit. They're followed then by Seagulls 11 being roused along. Seapoles pulling out, and Autumn Glow now really being wound up by McDonald, and she's starting to hit the line. It's Perfumist, 300 to go. Quickly tackled by Autumn Glow. Seapoles trying to go with her. 2 further back to Evaporate, running on. Autumn Glow just in front. Seapoles is trying to make a race of it, but now she opens up the shoulders. Autumn Glow got a length clear. We're looking at greatness. Another chapter in this stunning career. Autumn Glow wins the Golden Eagle from Seapoles. Then Evaporate, Depth of Character closing on. Punja Tower hitting the line, followed by Linebacker, Willie Do It, Crystal Clear, then Fully Lit from Shangri-La Spring for Roche, a gap to Seagulls 11, Lord Penman to finish. She's great.
She is great. She's absolutely great. She did power away, Darren. So 14, Autumn Glow. J-Mac has ridden one of the races of his life, I reckon, there, Lizzie. There were big decisions to be made. He had to be aggressive, and aggressive he was.
He certainly was, Bruce. That was an incredible performance from his horse. All he had to do was keep her out of trouble for as long as possible, and that's exactly what he was able to do. I thought for a moment there was going to be...
She was brilliant, and she was challenged by a Group 1 winner in Sepples, who ran out of his skin. He's back to his absolute best. The Group 1 form always holds up in this race. Evaporate here, who has just adored this filly from the very word go. Look at her riding alongside J-Mac right now. Those eyes are just absolutely parched, and now she knows. And now James's mother on the right of Katie, and the 2 little darlings with them. Oh boy, it's priceless, isn't it? It's precious. It's golden. That's what it is. Oh, poor Evie's got motion sickness. Let's hear from Jane.
We've seen her versatile in the run, perform on all different surfaces and at different distance. Where has she given you the best feel?
Oh, good question. Probably when last preparation. She wants good ground. Class got her through. Like this ground, put up a 7, but it's riding far heavier, softer than that. So for her to win, show her class, I'm extremely proud of her. Waller's a genius. His team's unbelievable. And he...
Moment in your life, Chris, so come up and join us. I mean, it just felt very special. The whole day felt very special. By the way, congratulations. You've done an incredible job with so many horses, but let's talk about her for a moment. Well done, mate. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, she's a star. It's as simple as that, and she does it each and every time, and there's nothing that shows us that much at home, but that heart and determination and presence that she has is really quite special. And today's race was tricky. We could see the track was hard to get a handle on. Some horses aren't getting through the going as well as you would like, and the horses on pace were dominating the day. So we knew that we had to be a bit closer, and they were running fast through the mid stages. And Al said, open to shoulders up at the 100-metre mark. It was pretty special to watch.
We just don't know how good she is, Chris. Congratulations, mate, to you and your entire team.
Intact in the Golden Eagle Autumn Glow. I just don't know where the bottom is with this horse, Ollie, because every time she's asked, she produces.
Yeah, she does, but she's been really well placed, I reckon, too. You know, hasn't really... I mean, she won the Epsom, of course, but she's been super well placed, and perfect ride by J-Mac too. He had the race in his grasp the whole way. He knew where his dangers were, and, you know, it was a nice win there, but a great run from Steeples as well.
Oh, yeah. Well done to Cliff Brent. $2 million for second, and... You know, Cliff's not an overly aggressive placer of his horses to say, you know, we'll have a crack after that disappointing run, and they've been paid off handsomely.
And Evaporate as well.
Yep, handsomely.
And Evaporate as well.
Yep.
You know, he's had I guess, a frustrating prep for the connections, and I know Lindsay Park team have so much confidence and belief in this horse. They haven't got, you know, that really big win that they've been chasing, but there might be a little option somewhere for him. He's racing so well.
Yep.
Melbourne Cup is on.
Our Melbourne Cup. Born in 1860.
Interesting, especially with our Riffer, barrier 19.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm not that familiar with him. You know, with the wet track coming, he's going to have to carry his weight. Obviously, with the wet track, it'll make it a little bit harder, but he's talked up as Joseph O'Brien's best horse he's brought out, and he's won it twice, so it'll be interesting to see how he does cope carrying that big weight.
We've seen great European stayers like Yates come out here and fail, you know, under the weight and the conditions out here. So it is a serious test for Al Riffer. He is the best horse in the race, absolutely. That's why he's at the top of the handicap. But it's all ahead of him to do from that gate. Maidan's all ahead of him to do from that gate.
Maidan's drawn out wide in 22 as well. Half Yours has drawn a nice gate. Now, Ollie, you've won 3.
I'd probably want double figures, but he's in my top 4, and I think he's a great chance of going 4th. I'm going to back 3 horses to win the similar amount. River of Stars on top. I think she's over the odds. I think Al Riffer's the best horse in the race. Reminds me of Gold Trip, and he might be even better than Gold Trip. And Presage Nocturne. I won't back him.
OK. Sharky, is Valiant King in your numbers?
Yes, it's the only time you'll ever get a top 4 out of me in any race. I hate them. Valiant King, I think, is... His win at Flemington 2 back was the most impressive staying performance we've seen all season. It was ridiculously close to winning. Presage Nocturne, soft ground, 2 mile, tick, tick, tick. Torrenzino's in the form of his life, as is Half Yours.
OK, I'm sticking with the Caulfield Cup form. I think we might get to see a horse complete the famous double. I can't see a reason why Half Yours can't win. I think that form with Valiant King is the best form in the race, and I'm not ignoring Buckaroo. Very elegant.
Stars has moved up on the outside, grinding them home with Presage Nocturne. They're stride for stride. Half Yours is coming at them, and Valiant King right down the outside. 50 to go. Valiant King with Half Yours, Presage Nocturne. Valiant King's won the Melbourne Cup. Presage Nocturne, Half Yours. An absurd has stayed on. Get to Melbourne, Willie has run 4th.
Outstanding work as always, Matty. I love it. Valiant King, Presage Nocturne, Half Yours, and Absurd. Mate,
it's the best job in the world, so bring on Tuesday.
Best backed overall is the Caulfield Cup winner, Half Yours. We're taking him on. He's 6 out to $8. Presage Nocturne, Valiant King also come through that Caulfield Cup. Vauban Saddlecloth Floor has produced the most winners, 26 into $21. Backed at odds, Middle Earth, 41 into 21, and Smoke and Romans.
Around here, the umbrellas are getting blown over a little bit, so it has hit, and the wind is strengthening coming in from the south.
The first in the yard to have a look at, Cheska, is out there, Al Riffer. The top weight and one of the real fancy.
He's got 2 here. The horse was having a good look at this. see, he is still an end-tie. Just having a little bit of a whinny here. A lot of new things for him.
Pick of the Cup Gator, Buckaroo, returns for yet another crack at the great race.
Cox Plate chasing the mighty VRC is world-class form.
Ali are up.
Look at him. How can you not fall in love with him? He is absolutely gorgeous. And just look at the character that he's got. The ears are so intelligent, taking everything in. The big, bright eye. He's actually a bit...
Hey, let's head on to the 7, Middle Earth, and Ali for Kieran Ma, who's after his second Melbourne Cup.
He's run twice in the race. He was pretty unlucky last year, but he's back for a third attempt. Now, if you ask me to assess him...
Aboard trying to create some more history here, our Caulfield Cup winner.
And the remarkable thing about this horse is that he's been in work and up running since March with a run every single month. So what will be really interesting is how he...
Goody Two Shoes, and this one, Cheska, is looking to bring Joseph O'Brien his third Melbourne Cup.
Tell you what, there are horses...
Of Stars, second in the Caulfield Cup behind Half Yours.
Yeah, made Half Yours really dig to beat her in that Caulfield Cup, but she was close to that strong speed in a mostly run-ons race. Gets a weight swing, likes the jar out of the track, must have a case.
Michelle.
Go on with it? That's the question.
All right, and our final runner, Michelle, Valiant King, and a fifth runner here for Chris Waller.
All of his horses have presented here beautifully, and this horse is no exception. He's just...
And I am particularly pleased to see that Presage Nocturne looks an absolute picture, and I'm sticking with him.
There she goes, doubling down. The crush continues here.
With Cheska, Presage Nocturne has been a big firmer in the last 45 minutes and has assumed favouritism. With tab for the Lexus Melbourne Cup, $8.50 into $7 at the top of the betting. Half Yours, the Caulfield Cup winner, is best back still overall, and it's held $8 for much of the day. Al Riffa, having been 7 out to 9s, just back into $8.50. Valiant King, 10 into $9.50. G. Maydan's been a drifter, 15 out to 26, supported out to 26, supported at odds, Middle Earth, Vauban and Arapaho. There was a bet of $40,000 for Arapaho to place at $10. What are you really going to keep firming?
Quite remarkable here. Al Riffa, Half Yours, Valiant King right behind. Buck.
The great race about to get underway, and they're racing in the Melbourne Cup. River of Stars jumped away pretty quickly. Speed from Arapaho, Smoke and Romans. Vauban's tucking in behind them. Half Yours is nice and close. Changing of the guard, using plenty of the track on the outside to sweep over. Arapaho is the leader. From Smoke and Romans, the inside. River of Stars right behind them. Torrenzino, Goody Two Shoes, and changing of the guard out in the middle of the track, taking its time to come over. Then came Torrenzino. Further back is Half Yours, who's about 8th or 9th in the early stages. One Smooth Operator and Maydan. Land Legend in a pack, and then came Valiant King, Presage Nocturne. Not that much speed on here as they saunter past the 200 metres on the first occasion. Back in the pack now on the rails is Vauban, followed by Absurd. Buckaroo, Athabascan, Parchment Party, further Chevalier Rose, El Riffa, More Felons, and Flatten the Curve is last at the post. So the leader is Smoke and Romans, with on the outside now Royal Supremacy going up to just about dispute the lead. Changing of the guard, got across from that outside alley, third one off the fence. Next on the rails, Arapaho. They were followed by Goody Two Shoes, and next on the rails, River of Stars. A length and a half to Torrenzino, then Maydan. Further back is Middle Earth, One Smooth Operator. 2,000 metres to go. Next in the race is Land Legend, 3 wide. In between horses, Half Yours in the middle of the pack. A length and a half, Valiant King. Presage Nocturne is next, the grey. Followed then by Vauban. A length away in the field is Buckaroo, who is on the back of Valiant King. Next, Athabascan on the inside. Then came Absurd, Parchment Party, Chevalier Rose, the inner. Well back in the field is further El Riffa. More Felons is second last, and Flatten the Curve is last in the Melbourne Cup. 1,400 metres to go, and Land Legend now took it up and has raced clear about 4 lengths in front to try and turn this into a staying contest. Land Legend 4 or 5 lengths the leader. From in second, Royal Supremacy, and they're 2.5 lengths in front of Changing of the Guard and also Smoke and Romans. 2 for the back, Goody Two Shoes, Arapaho as Land Legends now 8 or 9 lengths in front. River of Stars is about 7th, the inside of Torrenzino. A couple of lengths to Maydan, and then came Middle Earth as they reached the 1,000 marker. Next in the field, Valiant King a little wide from One Smooth Operator, and Half Yours, the favourite, is 25 off the leader. Then Buckaroo, Presage Nocturne, Vauban, Absurd, Athabascan, well back further, Chevalier Rose, Parchment Party, El Rifa, More Felons, and well back in the field towards the home corner. Flatten the Curve has got a lot to do. So it's Land Legend, 600 metres to go. A runaway leader, 6 or 7 lengths in front. From in second, Royal Supremacy. They were followed by Changing of the Guard, Arapaho under pressure, Goody Two Shoes presenting up the middle. They were followed by River of Stars, who battles on. Torrenzino and Middle Earth right down the outside. 300 metres to go. Goody Two Shoes for Ireland, led by a length and a quarter. Middle Earth and Half Yours is getting through. Goody Two Shoes with Half Yours challenging at the clock tower. Half Yours takes the lead from Goody Two Shoes. Middle Earth, River of Stars. Half Yours is coming clear for Jamie Carr for the Cups double. Half Yours, the history maker, won the Lexus Melbourne Cup by 3 lengths. Half Yours the winner. Second, Goody Two Shoes. Third, Middle Earth from River of Stars, Torrenzino. Vauban behind those. Then came Absurd, El Rifa. Then came Arapaho. Well back, Royal Supremacy, Changing of the Guard. Smoke and Romans, Maidan. Absurd pulls up alongside of One Smooth Operator. Well back, Parchment Party further flattened the curve towards the back. Valiant King with More Felons, Presage Nocturne out the Baskin, and then Chevalier Rose, Land Legend and Buckaroo has completed the course.
Well, a decade on from Michelle Payne becoming the first female jockey to win the Melbourne Cup aboard Prince of Penzance. Her mate Jamie Mellom does it on Half Yours, and what a ride it was, Michelle.
Unbelievable. I've got tears in my eyes. It's just the most incredible feeling, and for Jamie, who deserves it, it couldn't be better.
A piece of history right there. It was one of those races that were hard to read until they came into that final turn, wasn't it?
It was. We saw a lot of chances, but Jamie just got the most beautiful run through. She was sort of half to 3/4 of the way back, and Half Yours went to sleep. She knows the horse. She just picked her way through the field. We saw a few challenges that looked to be, you know, really going to take it home, and then she just burst through. And this horse just keeps rising to the occasion time after time.
Let's head out onto the track.
Half Yours becomes the 13th horse to complete the Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup double, and 10 years after Michelle Payne broke extraordinary ground to become the first female rider to win the Melbourne Cup, Jamie Carr becomes the first female jockey to complete the Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup double. She nearly lost her life on this track 2.5 years ago in a fall in Australian Guineas. And the man who was on the third place getter today, Ethan Brown, was in a very similar and dire situation. They're close friends and they share a great moment this afternoon. And for Tony and Calvin McAvoy, this horse was an online purchase from the dispersal sale of breeder, the late Colin McKenna. He'd won 4 of 9 starts since debuting for the stable back in March, and he now joins some of the icons of our sport. Half Yours.
An Australian trained horse, an Australian ridden horse, an Australian bred horse takes out the Lexus Melbourne Cup. What a shot that is of Jamie Mellom looking back over the shoulder, winning by a space, taking out the Caulfield Cup only 18 days ago, backing it up with a booming win in the Melbourne Cup.
Oh, yeah, we're all pumped.
You won the Caulfield Cup. Now you've just won your first Melbourne Cup. How do you feel?
What just happened? Oh, my God. This is what we do it for. This is why we get up out of bed every morning, 4 a.m, work our asses off for the last 15 years I've been in this industry. It's tough. It's not all glorious and perfect as everyone can see sometimes. Oh, I've had great days on the track, but nothing ever compares to this feeling right now I'm feeling. Look, we've got Cole up there, who him and Janice bred this horse, done an incredible job with him, obviously. I have to mention my grandpa, he died last week. The last thing he watched was the Caulfield Cup, and he was such a big supporter of mine, so he's up there opening those gaps for me, because I needed a few gaps opened then. And my mum and dad are here.
Congratulations, mate. The Cup's double. Are you pinching yourself or what?
Unbelievable, Tony. Yeah, wow, what a horse. He's just continued to raise the bar. I've got no words. It's been amazing. It's been such a big team effort. And
Thanks, Tony. What a joy. What a joy. This is our great race. And it's just so special to win it. it's not half yours, it's all yours. You know, this is a great day, although you do tend to share it around. Jamie's been part of your team, almost part of your family since the South Australia days.
Yeah, incredible. Incredible moment. Like, from the days we grew up, Melbourne Cup was everything, and it's been a great race for the McAvoy family. Karen winning it 3 times. My brother Philip owned a horse that ran second in it, and now for me to be able to win it, and for us to be able to win it, it's just amazing.
Fantastic. Well,
hasn't sunken in by the sounds of it.
But you think back to your whole life has been surrounded by racing. You've been immersed in it. There's got to be an element.
In sports, there's no handicap in regards to men and women. We all compete equally, and that's what makes it so special. So they're not good for a girl, they're good. They're at the top of their game. They beat everyone. Michelle did it first. It's Jamie's moment now, and the fact that she was able to do that as well, amazing.
Yeah. What a day.
Hasn't it been?
What a day. The Melbourne Cup delivers yet again, as it only can.
And what a joy for us.
This year's one that's going to be remembered for a long time as well. Ollie, we spoke about it a week ago in the build-up about Jamie having to deal with the pressure, being on the favourite from a nice gate. It was a 10 out of 10 ride, wasn't it?
Yeah, she nailed it. You know, there was some great rides and some not-so-good rides in that race. She certainly nailed it. Yeah. Under the conditions, showed great composure, taking those gaps. Had the horse to do it. You've got to have the horse to do it as well, but you still got to complete the task, and she did that to a T. Yeah.
And so exciting. I mean, half yours, we talk about the Cox Plate and Shayewolf. Half yours could be the horse to beat in the Cox Plate next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he's got weight for age written all over him, doesn't he? His racing pattern, the fact that he can perform so well, you know, from 2,000 metres up to 3,200. Probably never see him at that trip again, but we may do. You never know. I think it's still the pinnacle, the Melbourne Cup. Like, other races might be worth more money. They might have more, I guess, extracurricular thrown around it. But the Melbourne Cup is still the best race in this country. It's the race that means the most to the participants.
Yeah, and well done to the McAvoy, and one in his own right. And the backstory is beautiful as well, with Cole McKenna and Janice, the breeding, Janice giving the pin to Jamie. It was just one of those beautiful stories all round.
Yeah, and the only Aussie horse in the race too, Aussie-bred horse, so one for the locals.
The flow on from that too, with St John standing at Brackley Park, a tiny little stud in Euroa. You know, they're getting the phone calls now of people wanting to send mares to St John. Like, he's not going to get home.
In Acacia. So we now turn our attention to the big one, the Group 1 Crown Oaks over the 2,500 metres. Get a good feeling, of course, coming in after that win in the Wakefield. We market update. Jared, what are the punters doing?
Oh, most of them are with the favourite here. Get a good feeling. 60% of the hold with tab fixed odds is for Get a Good Feeling. $1.95 on opening final field, $1.80 this morning, and holding $1.70 as it stands. On the next line, it's a bit of a battle. In fact, Strictly Business is firm. 10 into $8. The Pearls has started getting out. 7 back to 8. Of the rest, Ethereum.
And away they go. Get a good feeling from barrier number 3. Broke away cleanly, but Voting Rights beat her out with Ethereum Girl, and Spicy Lou is tugging up to second. Out deeper on the track, Just a Journey showing speed. Get a good feeling looking for a forward position. Zoo Claire on the rails. Ethereum Girl got to about 5th or 6th. Classic Gem next. Then After Summer, further back Marisu Ojo. 2 further back in the field is the Pearls, and then came the rails She's a Diva. 4 lengths Janie Bopper, and on the inside Strictly Business last as they head towards the riverside. So then came Janie Bopper and Strictly Business last at the 1,400 metres. Zoo Claire striding out. Quite a good tempo in the Oaks at this stage, led by about 1.5 lengths. Spicy Lou is second. Just a Journey is third outside of Ethereum Girl. They were followed next by Voting Rights and After Summer. The next pair, Get a Good Feeling, the outside of She's a Diva. Then Classic Gem, Marisu Ojo. The Pearls as well back third last. Then came Strictly Business, and Janie Bopper is at the tail. The Bolter hooking out 3 wide, thinking about a move as they run towards the side of Flemington Racecourse. So they reach the 1,000, and Zoo Claire strung them out a little, about 2 lengths to Spicy Lou, and then Ethereum Girl, Just a Journey, as the leader stops and starts them and comes back to them, now leading 3/4 Spicy Lou at the 800. Ethereum Girl is third from Just a Journey. Voting Rights in plenty of air now, 3 wide. After Summer next. Get a Good Feeling tracking Voting Rights, getting off the fences She's a Diva. Then Classic Gem, the Pearls, a satellite around the outside. outside and is starting a looper. Then came Marissa Ojo, passed by Strictly Business as the field really pack, and then Janie Bopper. They run for the money in the Crown Oaks. 450 metres to go. Spicy Lou momentarily hit the front. Here's Get a Good Feeling, and the Pearls on the outside. The two favourites joining in now. And at the 300 metres, it's Get a Good Feeling about 3/4 of a length in front of the Pearls, who won't give in. And Strictly Business right down the centre of the 200. Get a Good Feeling. The Pearls grabbed by Strictly Business. Strictly Business stays on. She's the stronger. She comes away. John Allen for Tom Carberry. It's a famous win, 3 lengths. Second, the Pearls. Third, After Summer. Fourth, Classic Gem. Ethereum Girl. And they were followed by Get a Good Feeling. Next, Spicy Lou. Followed then by Voting Rights. She's a Diva. Towards the end, Janie Bopper, with also Just a Journey, Zoo Claire and Marissa Oju.
Strictly Business ahead of the Pearls. After Summer, Classic Gem, Tom Carberry, a brilliant win for the trainer, and John Allen, the rider, and isn't he happy about it, Francesca?
Yes, and I need to see this again to see where Strictly Business came from. She had a wide draw. I'm pretty sure she went back to last. Watching the race through, they didn't seem to massive performance from her on only, what, her 4th lifetime start?
Look, it's an outstanding win. I mean, to do what she did in the lead-up, as we said earlier, 14 to 2,000 metres is a massive jump second up, and you thought, where's her ceiling? We just don't know what it is yet.
We spoke so much about the favourites. John Allen went in late to the gates in Strictly Business and does the business, and he's with Bill.
Strictly Business. So that means the Victoria Derby, the Lexus Melbourne Cup and the Crown Oaks have all been won by Victorian-bred horses. Such an international event that the locals have dominated, but
So yeah, it's an incredible journey racing, and I think everybody's part of it. Like, you know, it's you meet people here today and you go, they're legends, you know, and why do you think that you can do it? It's great. Look, what a training performance. He trains 10 horses, rides them all out himself, and to do what he's done with this filly, like she basically debuted 12 days ago. I know she had one run last prep, but like, to do what she's done with her is like unreal training performance.
Just an incredible story there. Isn't that great? Looking at Johnny Allen and the little one having a drink out of the Oaks Trophy on Thursday. Sharky, it doesn't get any better than that. If you said 3 weeks ago, there's a horse that we haven't seen come back, it's going to win the Oaks this time in. 16 days or something it was since she won a maiden to get her to win an Oaks.
Amazing. They can slingshot into races like the Wakeful, put the riding on the wall, and then all of a sudden they're in the deep end. It's all dependent really on, I think, the 1,000 Guineas being back in that spot now. Ollie, we're going to see some of those horses that are probably hitting the line in the 1,000 Guineas that are more of your Oaks-style filly back in that time slot. But the Wakeful's the fork in the road for these girls at this point of the year. You run well in a Wakeful, you're right in the thick of things in an Oaks.
Yeah, you are, but this filly's come from nowhere, third up to win an Oaks, extraordinary training effort, and a beautiful ride by Johnny. Nice patient ride there as well. But it just goes to show it's uncharted territory, 1.5 miles for these 3-year-old fillies. It's not often the best. It's not always the best horse that wins. It's probably the best stay or the best ride as well.
Let's see what I see in Adult Cairns, $6.50 each of 2. Real class. Chris Waller, J-Mac. It opened $17. It's now $7.50. Blinded by the Light got out to $17.
Gates are back and they're racing in the Matriarch. Out the back, good banter early with Blinded by the Light, and beginning well is towards the inside Jenny Lala, but also pushing up the favourite She's a Hustler, and Alel Cants the outer with Sunset Park wider. See What I See is behind those horses trying to find a position till as they head towards halfway. Sunset Park, the leader in the Matriarch, just starts to string them out a little bit better by a length and a quarter. See What I See. 2 further back as She's a Hustler outside of Jenny Lala, and then Real Class 5th 3 wide. A length away Alel Cants, and then came Terra Star and Bond Mistress. In the back half is Good Banter, and then came Blinded by the Light, Positivity, and moving out is last of all as they approach the home corner. 7.50 out. Sunset Park in front of See What I See. Then came She's a Hustler, who is about to ease out 3 wide. Real Class on a wide run, then Alel Cants. Jenny Lala is battling away on the inside. It's going to be an arduous 450 metres. Terra Star trying to pick up from Good Banter. Blinded by the Light a long way back. Sunset Park at the 350, still 2 lengths. See What I See, She's a Hustler. Then Real Class, and down the outside of Lil Cash trying to stay on. Sunset Park, 200 metres to go. Still had a good 3 lengths, She's a Hustler. Then See What I See, a Lil Cash and Real Class. But Sunset Park, it's Jamie Mellum again. She's 2 lengths in front, and Sunset Park will win. Sunset Park from She's a Hustler. A long gap, a Lil Cash third. Then See What I See, a further long gap, blinded by the light. Then came moving out. Back behind those horses was Real Class, Good Banter, Positivity, Bond Mystery.
Another winner for our Melbourne Cup winner, Jamie Mellum, on the final day of the Cup Carnival, and does so, Francesca, on Sunset Park.
At a price there, look at that, $19.40 she paid, and she went.
Nice win indeed to Sunset Park, who revelled in the conditions, Ollie.
Yes, didn't she? She skipped away here and, you know, she just dominated this race. You could see the second horse coming at her, but this horse in front just handled the ground too well and held on strongly.
And once it picked that margin up, it was going to be very, very hard for anything. The way the race was run to make any ground, She's a Hustler, the runner-up. She tries so hard, this horse, and still chasing right through the line. Both of them are horses that can continue to progress as a middle-distance prospect. This was against the girls, but I think they'd both be capable of landing a punch against the boys as well at this sort of distance range.
Yeah, and good to see Alicant's back in a bit of form. Got beaten a long way, but I think that's a little bit of the form.
Attention to race 5. It's the Queen Elizabeth Stakes over 2,600 metres, a race won previously by Mike.
Form this week, Birdman clearly best back with tab customers here, and just been 360, got as short as 320, just back to 340 now. Berkeley Square, well, it was back when markets first opened, was $9.50, just been hovering between $6.50 and $6 since the latest scratchings. Whiskey on the Hill, they're backing here late, it's been $8 into $7. Etna Rosso's just out of point. Of those at odds,
OK, Braden Star over on the far side beat them out with also Sayadati Sadati, and there's So You Are from the deep now hustling forward, and So You Are is going to cross to lead. Sayadati Sadati and Strawberry Rock and the Japanese entrant Golden Snap wider. Whiskey on the Hill is 3 deep, and then came Braden Star. Etna Rosso the fence, he's a shocker on a limb early, and then came Post Impressionist. Berkeley Square second last is near, and at the tail of the field is Birdman as they reach Chiquita Lodge and beyond with 1,100 metres to go. So You Are got a breather from He's a Shocker the outside, 1.5 lengths to Strawberry Rock third, then Golden Snap, 2 lengths Whiskey on the Hill, 1.5 lengths to Etna Rosso, then came Sayadati Sadati, 1.25 lengths away Berkeley Square, then Braden Star. Post Impressionist is third last, second last Star of India on the rails, and Birdman is last of all, still 15 to 18 off the leader So You Are, who's clicked up now to try and really string them out. 650 metres to go. The leader is So You Are, 2 lengths He's a Shocker, then Strawberry Rock, Golden Snappers behind them, Whiskey on the Hill sliding forward about 4 off the lead from Etna Rosso, whacking away Berkeley Square, dropping away Sayadati Sadati. Birdman still third last, 400 to go, and now going to the lead Strawberry Rock from So You Are. Whiskey on the Hill challenges though, He's a Shocker and Etna Rosso right down the outskirts as they reach the 250. It's a slogging finish. Whiskey on the Hill with Etna Rosso the outside. Whiskey on the Hill finds reserves, draws a neck a half. Etna Rosso, Golden Snap coming again. Whiskey on the Hill is clear, and Whiskey on the Hill for Damien Lane won a length. Etna Rosso second, Golden Snap is third, and fourth was Braden Star and a memorable Queen Elizabeth. Next in the field, Berkeley is all.
Here's cheers to Whiskey on the Hill, Gator.
Gee, I'm tired watching that. They were exhausted, some of those athletes, but how tough is this horse, Whiskey on the Hill? He had the dream run, sure, but when he peeled to the outside, Etna Rosso had his back.
It was probably just desserts for Whiskey on the Hill, who's had a pretty unlucky campaign, and again, you can see it was a test of the toughest here, Sharky, and Whiskey on the Hill certainly was that.
Didn't have a lot of luck going back to the Mornington run in the Harry White, which he won, got there at the right time. No luck in a Herbert Power. Geelong Cup, he was trying to run on a day where it was nearly impossible to do so. So a really deserved victory from a really consistent horse that, who knows, maybe next year we see this horse in a Melbourne Cup for the connections. But good for Glenn Thompson, everything that's gone on with his career in the last 12 months. This is a nice horse to win good races.
What do you make of the run of Birdman?
60 kilos, long way back. Gee, it was a task for him, particularly in this ground.
And the Japanese runner, you tend to automatically want to put a pen through any Japanese horse when they see a heavy track, but Golden Slap ran a bowler.
She did, yeah, and clearly...
Magnificent spring campaign from Sydney to Caulfield to Moonee Valley and now to fabulous Flemington. The Group 1 treble is coming up.
Degrees. The feels like temperature is 5 degrees.
They're lying.
Confirmed.
Absolutely lying.
We've got the hot water. Short and sweet from you two. And let's get Francesca's pick of the yard.
Yeah, well, I found Giga Kick and I am here with him. And I can say that he is a very strong, heavy individual.
With Tab customers is Giga Kick, but Jolly Star is still holding favouritism here, although 10 Tyrus went up favourite when markets first opened for the Daily Champion Sprint, but Jolly Star traded as short as $2.90, is now $3.20. 10 Tyrus is out to $3.50, still popular, just taking him on. Giga Kick, having opened $5, got into 440s, back to 460. Tropicus had been 15 into 9s, back to 12. Magic Time loves heavy tracks, no surprise to see him 19 into 12. Cabalas
Tyrus, so this will be a late scratching. We'll have it confirmed. A disappointed look on the face of Craig Williams as the horse is taken away. But it looks as though the second favourite is going to come out here of the Champion Sprint. We'll have it confirmed. It's been withdrawn. 351, 10 Tyrus, a late scratching out of the Champion Sprint. So down to 9 runners is set. Ready, and they're racing. And beginning well was Tropicus in the centre of the line, with also the outside Jedabeel showing some speed. Benedetta's about 2 lengths off those early. Flying for Fun is also driving up on the inside to sit a couple of lengths off the leader. So the leader is Tropicus with a bit of an arrowhead up the middle of the field, leading by 2 lengths to in second place Jolly Star, Flying for Fun, Jedabeel. Giga Kickers behind those horses. Then Libertad Cabela's second last in the race is Magic Time with Benedetta at the tail of the field. And gradually the entire field coming up towards the outside fence. At the 600 metres, Tropicus in front 3/4. 2 in second, Jolly Star. Wider is Jedabeel. Behind them, Flying for Fun, Cabela's. Then came Libertad, who's trying to stoke into the race. Giga Kick waited with Magic Time behind them, and Benedetta trying to wind up. It's the widest of all as they reach the 250. Jolly Star lets down Magic Time, and Giga Kick coming through. Libertad scrapping away, and Benedetta the outside of the clock tower, taking the lead. Magic Time with Giga Kick. Magic Time and Giga Kick. Magic Time draws ahead in front. Giga Kick won't give in. Digs in for the fight and wins. Giga Kick has won it. Zara again. Magic Time second. Jolly Star third. And then came Libertad, Benedetta, Tropicus, Flying for Fun. Behind those horses, Cabela's. Last was Jedabeel.
Giga Kick producing on the big stage. We send Francesca Camani back out into the yard and back to find a winner.
Yeah, but I tell you what, the crowd here was going absolutely nuts in that final stages of this race because Giga Kick was popular. We heard him be back late. He was getting there. Magic Time putting up a brilliant fight. Jolly Star there in third, but the old boy managed to really rally and get his nose down on the line where it mattered.
I'm so pleased for Clayton Douglas. This horse means the world to him. He had quite a significant...
And talk about stories that develop. Mark Zara was on 10 Tyrus last week. He chose to ride Giga Kick, a horse he's been associated with for a long time, mainly because he couldn't really do the weight on 10 Tyrus. 10 Tyrus then comes out at the start. We'll try and find out exactly. He's now on Giga Kick, his old mate, and gives him yet another winner at the top level.
The Group 1 VRC Champion Sprint, the way of Giga Kick, and Mark Zara is with Billy.
Yeah, with Giga Kick, he didn't let you down late. He fought right to the line. That's his third Group 1. What a champion.
Oh, just so good to see him back. Yeah, it was pretty tight. Was going to hold me, but his last 50, geez, he dug in the old boy. He had a proper crack and got his hand at the right time.
Yeah, he had to. That's 8 wins for the Carnival.
Yeah, he's a champ, this horse. I love him, and it's actually my first Melbourne Group 1, which is really special as well. And it was a great ride, and what a ding-dong battle it was.
I mean, it's not sunk in.
It means a lot to me, this horse. He's obviously done so much for my career. He's taken me everywhere. I've been able to win Group 1s in Sydney and Queensland, and to do it up straight, it's his third goal at this race.
How good is that? Clayton Douglas celebrating the win of Giga Kick yesterday. I haven't seen him ride one out like that since gold medals in the Grand Annual a few years ago. He certainly gave it a good punch home. We're going to catch up with Clayton in a moment, but before that, let's relive Group 1 in the Champions Sprint. There was drama at the start when Tentoris was unfortunately withdrawn after getting his leg over the gates. But the story was Giga Kick. Ollie, lovely ride here. Mark Zahra again. He's had a cup week to remember.
Yeah, he rides the straight really well, Mark, especially in these conditions, you know, when it's windy and rainy. The patient ride is rewarded. Sometimes you just got to be a little bit over-patient, you feel like, and you might be balked for a run sometimes, but I think it really becomes...
Magic Time just got flushed out back towards the inside where you know, the cover, you know, the horse was probably taking him into the race. He had to go. But she's sort of facing that breeze a little bit earlier. Do you think that might have told in the end, Ollie? It was such a tight finish that just about here she's out in the wind.
Yeah, I think it could have, you know, because there was a bit of a headwind down that straight yesterday. She hit the front, looked like she had the race won, and then probably Giga just having that cover for a little bit longer, and, you know, obviously relishing the conditions as well. They fought it out, and it looked like Magic Time had his measure here, but Giga Kick dug in late and managed to just get his head down right on the line there.
For all the aversion to racing Jolly Star on wet tracks, she's run really well. Libertad with a strong rider, Tom Marquand on board. He likes a wet track. We saw that in Queensland during the winter. He's probably run the best race of his career.
Yeah, she had him context into the conditions yesterday. They ran 5 seconds slower in the Champions Sprint than they did in the Coolmore on the Saturday. So about 30 lengths difference.
Obviously the conditions.
Yeah, look, at race 7, it's the second of our 3 Group 1s in a row. It is a class field. The Lexus Champions Mile, and Ali, of course, Mr. B, and Mr. B's your tip.
Oh, he's just... How do we feel about this, Gator?
Yeah, well, they were my top 5 selections. I think Steffi Magnetic...
Favourite, Cheska's favourite, Hunter's favourite as well. Mr. B, Mr. Brightside, since the scratching of Like a Lucy, has been 320 into 290, clearly best backed for the Lexus Champions Mile. Pride of Jenny just been 440 back to 460. Treasure the Moment is popular though, 550 into 5. Show Wolf's just out half a point with that Sydney form, 5 to 550. Steffi Magnetic is on the drift, 9 out to 12. Not sure how she'll handle the heavy. And Pericles has been 15 out to 18.
Movement out wide, racing now. Pretty good line. Chow Wolf got a good start. Treasure the Moment began quickly but dug up immediately. Pride of Jenny. So the leader, Treasure the Moment, but Pride of Jenny is right there. Mr. Brightside looking to get across. Chow Wolf keeps him wide at the moment. And then came Steffi Magnetica. Pericles, Lake Forest, Von Hawkins to Party is last in the early stages. So with 1,200 metres to go off the rails, Pride of Jenny is the leader from Treasure the Moment. Mr. Brightside, as Pride of Jenny does what Pride of Jenny does and goes to the lead, 2 lengths in front of Treasure the Moment, Mr. Brightside, and they string out. They were followed by Chow Wolf in 4th place. 2 for the back of Steffi Magnetica. They were followed well back in the field as they come towards the halfway marker at the 850 metres by Pericles, and then came Lake Forest, Von Hawkins to Party. So it's Pride of Jenny, 4 lengths Treasure the Moment, a similar gap. Mr. Brightside dug up already. Then Chow Wolf, as Pride of Jenny is spreading them here. Coming around the home corner, the 600 metres. Pride of Jenny stuck to the fence. Treasure the Moment. Lane brings her to the middle of the course, and then came Mr. Brightside, 4 lengths off them. From Chow Wolf, Steffi Magnetica, and back behind them, Pericles. Pride of Jenny hard up against the fence, and Treasure the Moment there together. 300 metres to go. It is stamina sapping. Then came Chow Wolf joining in, and Pericles under the arches. Pericles takes the lead at the 200 metres, going with it, Chow Wolf. Pericles at the 100. Chow Wolf won't give in. Pericles, Chow Wolf coming back. Chow Wolf off the canvas, and Pericles, Chow Wolf. Chow Wolf or Pericles in a photo. It's going to be a photo finish, and they were followed by Steffi Magnetica. Back behind those horses then was Treasure the Moment in company with Mr. Brightside, Pride of Jenny, Von Hawkins to Party, and Lake Forest. Photo finish.
That finish. Try and pick it with your naked eyes. We have a look at the slow-mo. And inside, look out. Chow Wolf, simply brilliant. What a ride, Chad Schofield. And that's back-to-back Group 1 wins for Francesca, like the narrowest of margins.
And what a race, goodness me, for the horses, these two horses, to engage in battle like that in the last furlong of a race that was very attritional. You had Pride of Jenny leading, Mr. Brightside never quite getting into it. Horses going really tight, nose up where it matters.
Oh, it was so exciting and well found, Gator, as well. This horse has been a real marvel all preparation, and it's the first time he's travelled and he's done that.
We'll let go to Bathing Glory in just a moment, but first to Billy.
Yeah, here with Chad's found some to come back and win his 4th Group 1.
Very gutsy. He jumped really well today, and he took the most of that good jump and put him in a more forward position. When the race sort of heated up around the 600, I was still going really well, and Mr. Brightside was gone. I had to sort of get off his back and get going. He ambled into it, and then he actually had a good look when he hit the big Flemington straight for the first time, and he got a little bit lost for a while until Tom Kitten got in front of him, and then he could see him with his blinkers, and he came back, and he was a stronger horse late.
Those fights, I've thought for a long time he's the best horse I've trained, and just with these last 2 wins, he's certainly cemented his spot there. Great work from the team at home, and he'd never travelled away before, but he's handled it all really well, and we'll be back. That's amazing. The fact
Bitter and Chaya Wolf for Chad Schofield is able to see off Pericles in a ding-dong battle. They've run almost 139 for the 1600. The ultimate war of attrition goes to the horse that Joe Bride keeps telling us might be the best he's put a saddle on in Chaya Wolf, and he's shown his qualities.
Footage, but
because he's put a neck margin on him and gone straight past him.
And you had to sort of stay, it might have been more than a neck, you had to keep the faith with Chaya Wolf, because Pericles over the years, he's got a short sprint, he had the softer run, everything worked out for him, but you just had to wonder whether he could maintain his run in those conditions, and he wasn't able to.
Carnival, despite the wet weather, it was a grandstand finish. And Ollie, I'm keen for you to talk us through this, because a lot of the talk had been about Pride of Jenny. How will they ride against Pride of Jenny? And I don't think she was at her best on the heavy ground, but I wonder what you thought about the tactics on Treasure the Moment, and then how the race set up for the likes of Chaya Wolf and Pericles, who were the closers.
Look, well, I don't think they rode Treasure the Moment out of her comfort zone, because she's a great beginner. She puts herself there naturally, but I think it became a testing sort of run mile under the conditions, and it probably played into the hands of probably the more stronger 2,000-metre horses like Chaya Wolf and also Pericles. Those horses up the front, particularly the first two, probably coming towards the end of a bit of a tough campaign, but it really played into the horses that are run.
Surprising, we're learning about the horse now. Chaya Wolf, his 4 Group 1s have all come in races with pressure.
Yep.
3 of them had Pride of Jenny in it, and the other one was a big field Epsom that had good tempo. So he clearly thrives with good tempo, consistent tempo. That's where he calls on his strength reserves. Remember, he ran in a derby as a young horse in Sydney, so he's got that strength about him. But as a miler that can sit off a good pace, chime in at the right time and fight, as he does here, when Pericles probably gets a quarter of a length in front of him, well, he's got some bulldog about him, this horse. And I think he was maligned early in the spring in these sit-sprint races where he wasn't winning at short odds. He certainly had the last laugh, as has Joe Pride.
Cracking finish. We're on a heavy track ball here, and you can see the distance that the Beaten Brigade come in, but I think you've summed it up beautifully. The fight in this horse, that's his 4th Group 1. Joe Pride declaring it's the best horse he's ever trained. There's a postscript in about it. Pride of Jenny did pull up lame in the left hind post-race. No issues found with Mr. Brightside, who put in a rare bad one for him. And we've been thinking that as soon as we see him on a heavy track, he just eats the mud. But it was just too tough for Mr. B yesterday. Maybe age is slowly starting to catch up with the Warrior.
It's certainly an out-of-character run. You know, he's a heavy track winner, track and distance in a Mackay, beating Pride of Jenny a few seasons ago. So ground, track, distance, everything was ticked for him yesterday. It was just one of those strange runs that good horses can put in every now and then, which is a shame because he's such a crowd favourite. He was very well backed yesterday.
A little bit of debate.
Is heading as well as we have a look. Is heading as well as we have a look at the field here for the TAB Champions Stakes. 2,000 metres to be covered, and of course, as we before 12 months ago. And well, with these conditions, the track, it is a heavy 9. The rain's still coming down. It is still a strong breeze
Well, I mean, what can we say? She's coming off a Cox Plate win. She actually won first up over 1,400 metres on a bottomless track at Randwick. She was tough, and it was her will to win.
I think Tom's a danger, and a value danger at that. But Via's, yeah, clearly the one to beat.
Righto.
Feels weirdly...
Well, the market's saying Pier is the danger, but Via Sistina traded her longest price of $1.80 just a short while ago, just back into $1.75, was as short as $1.55. Still clearly best backed, of course, but Pier has been 13 into $8. Tom Kitten opened 750s, now 950. What about Zambardo? Benchmark 78 to a Group 1, 31 into $11. Light infantry man.
Starter has the button in hand, and they're racing. Light infantryman was slow away. Benagil's going back with also Via Sistina. Alan Kerr bounced quickly in front of Pier, Zambardo and Golden Path, followed by Attrition. Next, Tom Kitten, followed by Point King on the inside. Then came Kovalika. And behind Alan Kerr is going to take up the lead by about a length to Zambardo. And third is Golden Path. Next in the race is Pier outside of Attrition, and then Point King the fence. Next is Tom Kitten a little bit free. 3/4 of a length Kovalika, Benagil. Via Sistina is second last. Light infantryman at the end at the 1,200 metres at Chiqueta Lodge. So it's Alan Kerr the leader by a length and a half. Second is Zambardo. Third is Golden Path. They were followed by Pier, who's travelling well away from the rails. In between horses, Attrition. Tom Kitten had the back of Pier, then Point King. Next is Kovalika. Via Sistina is now 3 back on that 3 wide train on the back of Tom Kitten, just starting about getting motivated. Further back, Light Infantryman, and Benagil is at the tail of the field. So they have reached the 800 metres now, and the leader is Alan Kerr, just in front from Pier. Then 2 lengths Zambardo, Golden Path. Next, Tom Kitten. Via Sistina is just starting to get closer with Light Infantryman. They're not that far off the lead now, about 3 or 4 lengths as they run around the corner. They come to the middle of the course. So it's Alan Kerr from Pier. Zambardo back to the inside. Tom Kitten. Via Sistina getting nice and close for James McDonald now on the outside at the 300 metres. Here comes the star, Via Sistina. She lets down from Tom Kitten, Pier and Zambardo. 200 to go. Via Sistina. 2 legs. Zambardo running a race from Pier and Tom Kitten. Via Sistina. 100 metres to go. She's got the class and she's got the legs, the stamina to win. Another star turn from Via Sistina. 3 legs. Zambardo, Tom Kitten, Pier. Then Light Infantryman, Attrition, Point King, Golden Path, Alan Kerr, Kovalika and Benagil at the tail of the field.
What a privilege to witness such greatness in this sport. Via Sistina, James McDonald, Chris Waller, the combination gator produces again.
And borderline arrogance from the mighty Via Sistina, the way she cruised into the race. What about the ear prick right near the line? I'm doing it easy, you guys. You're a second level to me, a class above them. J-Mac loved it, gives the point, and the star of the turf shines.
Just poetry in motion. I think James might have...
From the champ, who goes back-to-back, 2 springs in a row, Cox Plate Champion Stakes. She is without peer. And what a way for Chris Waller and James McDonald to bring up remarkably their 50th Group 1 victory together with a star in Via Sistina. What a training performance from Michael Kent Jr. and Mick Price. Zambardo could have gone around on the minimum in a benchmark race on Thursday. He's now a Group 1 place getter to a champion. Tom Kitten and Pier round out.
Well, the way people are talking post-race and we were talking pre-race was as if this horse was, you know, Winks odds. She wasn't $1.20. She wasn't $1.30. She wasn't $1.50. You could get $1.80 and there was $2 on the exchange late. So she was basically pretty backable the way you look at it late, and she's absolutely brained them like many punters expected her to do. OK, if she's...
And passes the mighty Mr. Brightside on the prize money rank, and 11th Group 1, amazing stuff.
All right, let's...
Sistina, that's 12 Group 1s for this mighty mare. She's got a big long stride, she's got big ears, but she's got a big heart.
Yeah, she certainly does. She's an absolute pleasure to ride, and how good are they? They just prep him up beautifully. Waller and his team, and part of his team, and you're right, superstars like this, it's always a pleasure, but it was basically a copy and paste from last year. Sit back and let her rip.
Yeah, they did all the work. That's 2 Cox Plate. She's one of the best mares we've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. She deserves her champion status, and I thought
Bad combo. You and J-Mac, 50 Group 1s now.
It's an honour to be working with him.
I loved J-Mac's quote post-race. He said, I'm just going to ride her like Huey used to ride Winks. Best horse in the race, give her fresh air, Ollie, and it was end of story.
Yeah, well, she was a standout horse in the race, wasn't she? And, you know, she just had to go to, you know, perform somewhere to near her best to beat those. And, you know, she had the perfect run. James was able to get sort of...
You know, in the lead-up to the race, the horse that the punters wanted to back away from the favourite was Zambardo, coming out of benchmark grade racing, where, sure, he's looked impressive, but thrown into the deep end here by Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr., obviously with belief that they've got a nice horse on their hands. My Lord, he's run out of his skin. Look, they forgo ratings points in doing so. He probably had another benchmark win or two up his sleeve, Ollie, but 540,000's jumped in. So that probably offsets what he would have been.
Look, it's not the classiest champion stakes we've ever seen, but she did what she had to do, and that's her 12th Group 1 now, Via, her 11th in Australia, 50th for the combination of J-Mac and Waller as well. 2 Cox plates. It's hard to compare horses from different eras, but she's a bona fide champion, Ollie, now, when we look back on the superstars of our racing.
Yeah, she is. But, I mean, it shows that we've probably got a little bit of lack of depth there or longevity in our staying horses or our wait-for-age type horses. But she's been the dominant horse for some time.
And I suppose this day throws up that little conundrum as well.
Prize money, the mile and the 2,000, it sort of splits the pool a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah.
She was such an important...
Doesn't it? Yeah.
She was such an important horse in the context of yesterday as well, with a very young crowd. You could see the vision there. That last 100 metres, it was like a soccer game in Europe. They were absolutely going off. And then the chance of Via Sistina afterwards. You know, she is a horse that a younger generation who are getting to know the sport immediately gravitate to because she's the best horse in the...
Involved. They need the stars, and they need the stars to perform. And after taking the shorts yesterday, have a listen to this. Watching a soccer game over in the UK, over in England, that is just magic. And they are the generation, the next gen. And I think the dial has most definitely turned this spring carnival. Fisher probably bought a lot of them.
Tame it or another reason for them to come, as well as the great horses. And I'm totally fine with that. As long as people are there, there's good atmosphere like that.
Exactly.
I'm all for it.
In Karaka. But have a look at Well Written, winning the 1,000 guineas here. Half was purchased by Yulong. They can find one that they think is good. Makes it 3 out of 3. But look at this turn of foot, Sharky.
Well, they're collectors now, aren't they? Not only of good quality mares and Group 1 performers, but of the best written tycoon stock they can get. And when she popped out into the run, she took herself into that race. The turn of foot was immediate, eased down over the line. Yeah, she's something special. Unbeaten so far. Really excited to see where she goes next, not only in New Zealand, but ultimately in Australia.
Trained by Stephen Marsh, and I believe part of the deal with Yulong was that he retains the training throughout its career, which I think is a nice touch.
The 2 biggest races here on this day. So the Hot Danish squeezed in between them, that group race with a high class. And this is the first of them. It's become traditionally the first of them. It comes up pretty early in the season.
A beautiful advertisement for Australian racing. So you can buy a horse, say...
It's an interesting race as far as the market goes. You've got 12 runners, 8 of them on debut. Well, the market's swinging back towards a horse with the benefit of race experience, and that is Revengeance for Gai Waterhouse and Adrian Bott, a stable who have won the past 2 runnings of this race. Artie Mex, he's been of interest all week, so $11.
And they're racing. Threesome was last out and Plagiarism was first out, spearing forward. Revengeance is trying to go with it, followed by Thrill Hunter. Artemex pretty handily positioned. Rapid Progress out wide, going right around the field. Spicy Miss as well as Artemex just eased back. It's going to cap about midfield now in advance of Anthropoid. Then Defenceman on a wide path early is Persian Wonder. A gap to Threesome, Far Colo, and the next episode back towards the rear and wide. Plagiarism shows the way from Rapid Progress, and the favourite Revengeance in 3rd position, half cutting. Spicy Miss the outside. Thrill Hunter there on the fence. and Artemex is about falling off the lead. Middle of the pack and the red cap needing a bit of room. Plagiarism at the 350 showing a good kick. It beat off Rapid Progress. Revengeance closing in. Spicy Misses closing in as well. It's Plagiarism tackled by Revengeance. A half the outside to Spicy Miss. Revengeance just in front of Spicy Miss. The two Derby runners are broken away, but Revengeance will land big bets to win the Golden Gift. Revengeance by 3/4, Spicy Miss. Plagiarism third. Anthropoid doing its best work late into fourth. Threesome got home well. Further back to Defend Hollow and wider out Persian Wonder. A gap in the field to the next episode, Thrill Hunter. It did
completely on fire. This was impressive, Lizzie, because he's still very green. He's still learning the caper. But when he was challenged, he's a good
This was a $1 million race, and Gay and Adrian have found another nice little 2-year-old here as well.
Yeah, Revengeance had the benefit of a start under its belt. It's amazing how many times we see with these pre-Christmas 2-year-olds. They have one run, they do a bit wrong. Second time around, they're far more polished. Good little battle here, Spicy Miss and Revengeance over the last little bit of the race. But Revengeance gets the job done. Yeah, they'll be aiming up at more of the good prize money that's on offer for these 2-year-old races.
As we build to
fact, and I think that has a lot to do with the potential map here. There's not a lot of pressure, and she could get a pretty cosy time up on top of the speed. So some sharp punters have recognised that and backed her in from $2.80 to a $2.30 favourite, and she accounts for 45% of the current tab hold. Miss Roombini on that second line, $2.80, and pretty steady at that quote. There has been some support for Balhinia.
And the gates are back. They're off. Coco Jambu missed it, and Miraval Rose was sharp into stride and is going to lead from Arctic Glamour send forward. Then came Miss Rubini a bit deep on the outside as Snow in May, and Pounces using the fence to slide up. Then Dark Glitter from Bohemia and Coco Jambu's last of all. Miraval Rose is going to lead the way from Arctic Glamour. Pounce gets leaders back third, and Stavola. Nash has got a good grip on Miraval Rose at the 800. 3/4 to Arctic Glamour. Then came Pounce, the American mare, well positioned by Marrera. Half the outside to Snow in May. Miss Rubini's off the track. Dark Glitter pushing through on the rails from Coco Jambu. Bohemia 6 off the leaders last of all. Miraval Rose at the 500 in front from Arctic Glamour. Then Pounce on the inside as Snow in May. Wider out is Miss Roombini as they straighten up now. Miraval Rose being eyeballed by Arctic Glamour. Snow in May starting to run home okay. Further back to Pounce. Down the outside, Bohemia. No hard luck stories for her today. Arctic Glamour in front of the 150. She's a length in front. Bohemia's closing in. Arctic Glamour just in front of Bohemia. It's Arctic Glamour gripping on from Bohemia, and Arctic Glamour at odds won the Hot Danish by a half-length. Bohemia. Snow in May third. Miraval Rose fourth. Further back to Dark Glitter, Coco Jambu. Then came Pounce, and Miss Roombini covered a bit of ground, but she's weakened out to finish last.
Gee, I'm just wondering, what a good performance. So she hadn't won a race in her last 16 starts. She was such a promising filly this one. Tommy Sherry with 3. Tell us about the start.
So Transatlantic, $2.70. Got out to $3.70. There was always going to be a price that attracted interest from the punters, and $3.70 was just that tipping point. Now back into $3.60, but still an easing favourite. That said, a lot of support here for Militarised. So maybe the punters are thinking that the Magic Man can do what he does best, and that's get Militarised over the line. So $8 first bet. This is a race where there's very few deductions into a $3.90 second elect. Rise line is a $5.50 chance. Vivier has been met with support on the quick turnaround, of course, $11 into $6.50. And the other runner here that has attracted interest is that mare with the Pride of Jenny form. So Firestorm, $15 first bet, and she has halved her quote now into $7.50, whereas Bullet Point has gone the other way, $6 all the way out to $9. So
here we go. Here's Darren Flindell's call for the 2025 Five Diamonds.
For the big one today, the Five Diamonds. Starter presses the button and they're off and racing, and Rise at Dawn given a tickle up out of the gates trying to lead, but putting the handlebars down as Transatlantic wide out. Berry really wants the front here on the favourite. The Inflictor away well, followed by Shadizi right there. Bullet Point behind in the early stages, followed then by Up on the out, Militarise third last from Vivier, and Port Lockroy the last one. 1,000 to go. Rise at Dawn in front for Nash. Out by 3/4 to Transatlantic. Shadizi third from the Inflictor. Fukabana on a 3-wide path. Then came Bullet Point from Ducas. Firestorm, Militarise, and a gap back in the field to Vivier, who's tucked away on the inside of Port Lockroy. 7:50 to go now. Rise at Dawn in the 5 Diamonds. Leads by a length on Transatlantic, followed by Shadizi, the Inflictor. Ducas is peeling 3 wide. Bullet Point travelling all right, but held up on the fence. Going around them is Fukabana and Militarise as well. Vivier still near last into the straight. Rise at Dawn shows the way. Transatlantic cruised up on the outside, and Berry sends the favourite to the front. Transatlantic by 2. Vivier's taking a rails run, thundering home. Militarise down the outside. Transatlantic at the 150. Transatlantic. Vivier up the inside. The mare's coming hard. Vivier going to Transatlantic, and Vivier got up to win the 5 Diamonds. Vivier with a rails hugging ride. Beat Transatlantic and Militarise, followed by Rise at Dawn, then Shadizi. Bullet Point was next, followed by Ducas, the Inflictor, Firestorm, Port Lockroy and Fukabana.
Well, brilliant ride by Rhys Jones. We spoke to him earlier today. Emma had a good long chat to him. Did not go around a horse. Lizzie, I can't find an excuse for any horse in that race. I mean, a great ride wins it, but I can't find an excuse for any of the favourites.
No, that was a really good ride. I was watching Rhys go to the inside and just really rally through late. Did not go round a horse. Let's have a look at this here, Bruce, because you can see he's back last. He's rode his horse perfectly. They've all come off of the rail. And Rhys said, OK, well, if no one else is going to go there, I'm going to go there. And I'm going to give my horse every opportunity to find the line. At this point in time, I still think that Transatlantic was going to win, but it was just that last 50 metres and the fact that he'd saved the ground. That's the difference in the winning performance.
And look, Transatlantic's run very well. Militarise has really put in, I think, today. He's run a good, solid race. They were clear of the other. This is a terrific training.
Into the first leg of the quaddie. This is the Sandown Guineas, and the best back runner on the sports bet books all day is She's an Alibi. Terrific winning with the blinkers on over 7 furlongs last start. $1.55. We're truck-loaded here. Burma
signal from behind, and they're away. Burma Star away fairly. Call Da Vinci goes back to third last, and Tagline's going to drift out from that wide alley too. She's a Alibi began well, has company up the hill here. Sulek, Top Reward and Sentu into the railway side at the 1,000 metres. Top Reward at a neutral speed led Sentu Cavati about a length and 3/4. She's a Alibi and Sulek. 2 lengths away Mataga, and then came along the inside Callio. A length and a half Burma Star Loren, then Call Da Vinci and Tagline with a lot to do. Top Reward 700 metres to go. 3/4 of a length Sentu Cavati. She's a Alibi poised. A length and a half away third the inside as they start to quicken now. Then Sulek. Mataga peels 3 deep. Sulek flushed out ahead of it. Then came Callio, Burma Star, Loren, Call Da Vinci, and 2 lengths Tagline. Up around the corner at the 400. It's Top Reward, Sentu Cavati. Sulek about to make a line of 3, and there's a run for She's a Alibi. Right up on the inside at the 250. She's a Alibi slipped through, and with acceleration, put up 2 or 3 lengths in front. She's an Alibi with 100 to go. It's over. She's 4 lengths in front. She's 5 lengths in front, and She's an Alibi made a mess of them. 6 lengths at least. Tagline up for second. Top Reward third from Callio. Then Call Da Vinci. Next to finish Burma Star, Sulek, Sentu Cavati, Mataga, last Loren.
Well, can she continue the phenomenal run that Peter Moody, now in training partnership with Catherine Coleman, has had with his mighty mares across his incredible training career?
Or perhaps the Newmarket. What's her best distance, and what do you think you might look at in the autumn?
Oh, listen, I think we're still working that out, Ollie, to be quite honest. She's only had 3 runs for us. She's got a very good turn of foot, so we really don't know what the ceiling is. But I'm very mindful that she's had a pretty sustained preparation and a very...
Stakes now stands as the final crescendo of Victoria's spring Group 1 season. A race steeped in history and heart.
Short, Jimmy Star, Ethan Brown in the saddle. Away we go. $1.75. Angel Capital arguably should be undefeated at this track and trip. He missed in the Sir Rupert Clarke. His 2 wins prior to that sensational. $3.20. You're sneaking out from his opening. We're out to $3.30. Angel Capital, though. It's Jimmy Star. He's truckloaded. $1.75, $1.80 if you don't mind, umpire. Soft is Angel Capital.
Fantastic race over the years. The Melbourne Racing Club and Racing Victoria have made a bold move here to put it at the end of the spring and not at the beginning of the autumn. Think of all those great winners over the years that we've had.
And they're racing. Beautiful line 2. Vinrock just took a slight backward step from barrier number 7. Jumped away only fairly. Jimmy Star out well with Evaporate, Bazasto and Mighty Ulysses holding its place on the fence. There's Vinrock improving, and then came Pinstripe, 2 lengths Angel Capital. Evaporate will lead the Orr Stakes. 1,100 metres to go, 1 1/4 lengths. Around the outside goes Vinrock to second. Bazasto will get the trail, third outside of Mighty Ulysses. 2 lengths to Jimmy Star. Jumped well. Pete's back to 5th outside of Pinstripe, and Angel Capital is last of all. 800 metres to go. The leader is Evaporate by 1 1/4 lengths. Tried to dial it down a little from Vinrock second, third Mighty Ulysses, fourth Bazasto. Pinstripe, Jimmy Star and Angel Capital has the back of the favourite. 600 metres to go. Third favourite Evaporate, 3/4 of a length, now a half length to Vinrock, who's stoked up on the outside. 2 lengths Bazasto. Jimmy Star's getting going. 3 or 4 off the lead now. Mighty Ulysses battles on, and then Angel Capital brought to the outside. Evaporate, 300 metres to go. Kick 2 lengths Vinrock. Here's Jimmy Star and Angel Capital running on. It's the race we wanted. 200 to go. Evaporate with Jimmy Star joining it and heading it. Then Angel Capital. Jimmy Star, 100 metres to go. 1 1/4 lengths Angel Capital. Jimmy's too good. Jimmy Star a length. Second Angel Capital. Third Evaporate. Fourth Pinstripe. Then Bazasto, Vinrock in a gap Mighty Ulysses. Last of all.
It was just the race we wanted in so many ways, wasn't it? Ethan Brown's ridden an absolute peach. So did Ben, and so did Jamie. She set the race up. Lizzie, no excuses. The absolute best horse won on the day. He is everything a star. I thought second...
The established brand prevails.
It was the race we wanted to see, and it was what most predicted as well, Nigel. Literally first, second, third favourite have run 1, 2, 3, and it was a bit muddling early, wasn't it, in terms of how they sorted themselves out. I love the race.
See Jimmy Star in Melbourne, though, doing what he does so well. Gee, he loves Caulfield, that horse.
Yeah, he's 5 from 6 now. I must admit, I thought, geez, getting in tight in the market. But if you're a Jimmy fan, you never had a moment's worry, Ollie, did you?
Yeah, it looked a bit of a race in 2 with him and...
Angel Capital.
Angel Capital,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah, but I think just that mid-race slowdown really suited Jimmy and probably was a little bit against Angel Capital.
And also...
Wait for age races. You could see Angel Capital is the other way. He can get going a little bit keen. They have to leave him alone a little bit early because he's not as push-button as what Jimmy is. And I think he would have been relying on the pace being stretching and really going on mid-race for him to have his best chance. But when they steadied up, it really played into Jimmy's hands and he was able to just really cruise into the race and dominate the race.
Seems to use the corners of Caulfield really well too, this horse, and we've seen it, you know, in shorter trips over in, you know, Oakley Plates and then 1,400 metres as well, where he's so adept, but just travels so well off that corner, balances up nicely, and you know when he lets down, it's going to be pronounced. And Angel Capital sort of had his back, tagged him into the race, got upsides, what you say there, 3/4, but when Jimmy kicks into gear, he does drop him and leave him behind. Maybe it's a maturity thing with Angel Capital and we'll see more development as we get further into this season. But at the moment, Jimmy's got his measure.
He does, and he's a
He with Coal Crusher, who is probably going better than he was when he took out the 2023 Hunter. Russell Balding form is going to be very strong, Ali, as we head to a market for the Hunter.
Well, Lizzie, Yorkshire has been the big go all week. He went up 8s. He was 360 this morning, now into 330, and he holds 25% of the overall money. So he's been a big mover all week, and he's been crunched again today. Our second best backed runner is now Clear Thinking, who was this morning 750, now into 440. And has about 23% of the overall money. So both of those top two, 17, Airman has stayed at that $19 quote, 21 about Estadio Mestea. Golden Mile 26 got out to 30.
Ready for the Newcastle Herald Hunter. Gates are back in the $1 million feature in the Rough. Fearsome blew the start. Golden Mile jumps sharply together with Cold Crusher, Brutal there. And Robusto just settles in fourth, followed by Felix Majestic. Then came Accredited. Strikers out wide together with them, and then Conasana. And the favourite Yorkshire's covering a bit of ground as well as they go into the first turn. Clears one inside the 800, and Cold Crusher took the lead from Golden Mile and Felix Majestic. Then came a striker off the track. Brutal with a cosy run on the inside of Robusto. Airman further back. Then came Accredited from Conasana, and well back in the field is Yorkshire being ridden up in the white cap as they turn for home. And Cold Crusher looking for his second win in the Hunter, weathering the storm of Golden Mile. Then came Brutal further back to Robusto, a striker. Accredited's taking a rails run further back to Airman Clear, thinking Yorkshire's not in the hunt. It's Cold Crusher in front. Brutal, the local horse, giving chase. Cold Crusher brave in the lead from Brutal. Accredited. It's Cold Crusher, his second Hunter success. Cold Crusher led all the way. Accredited ran second, and Brutal in a photo for third with Clear Thinking. Though followed in by a striker, Estadio Mustaya very late from Fierce, and then came Robusto, Infancy. Now Yorkshire's finished near last, the favourite.
So Cold Crusher over Accredited. So Joe Pride, guys, Quinella's the Hunter we could see. And you talked to him earlier, Em, just about what a spring he's had. It's getting better and better. And also...
Last out performance in the Russell Boulding. He had no luck whatsoever. He was not entitled to stick on at all, and he was still...
The slot holders and also the community groups in the local area that are attached to those contesting the race, and you think Jigsaw might be able to turn around the unlucky performance from 12 months ago.
It's currently a $7 chance to sit on the third line of betting alongside Arkansas Kid. Hedged has been the best back, is the Ladbrokes marker mover, and is the one that they're coming for late as well. So it is all about Hedged here in the minutes leading up to jump here of the Ladbrokes Meteorite. Imagine what you could be buying instead.
The $1 million Meteorites. They are set and they're racing. Arkansas Kid jumped away quickly, but not as fast as Jigsaw, straight to the lead. Hedge not too far away. Clarbell fourth the rails. Then came Need Some Luck. Zoo Sensation got to sixth. Then came Watch Me Win after 250. Midfield Extra 2 sought after. Jenny the Fox, Soft Love, Nadal back in the field. Beauty Charge and Stretton Angel last. So Jigsaw just in front of Arkansas Kid at the 750. Hedged is overdoing it again today. Third on the outside of Clarbell. A length and a half Need Some Luck, who's 3 wide. Then came Zoo Sensation, Watch Me Win. Further back as Extra 2 sought after. Then came Jenny the Fox, Soft Love, Nadal, Beauty Charge and Stretton Angel getting going from last. So it's Jigsaw the leader coming up towards the corner at the 400 metres. The local led a length and a quarter, Arkansas Kid. Then came Hedge brought to the outside from Clarbell, Zoo Sensation. Then Need Some Luck and sought after. Jigsaw went for home. 200 metres to go. Led by a length, Arkansas Kid not done with. And they were followed by Hedge, Zoo Sensation at the 100. Jigsaw a half, Arkansas Kid not getting there. Jigsaw fights, and it's a local win of the Meteorite. Jigsaw won it from Arkansas Kid. Zoo Sensation, Jenny the Fox, then Watch Me Win. Next to finish in the race, Nadal sought after. Need Some Luck, Hedge, Soft Love. Then came Beauty Charge, Extra 2, Clarbell and Stretton Angel.
What a buzz for the rising star Logan Bates with Cindy Alderson. A new lease on life for Jigsaw. He flashed onto the racing scene as a 2-year-old, and here at 7, he's winning the $1 million Meteorite, the second edition, holding off Arkansas Kid with a gap to Zoo Sensation.
Gem, and neither has the support for your favourite Gringotts. $2.10. He's still just finding his right price. I know the tab traders just tempted punters there, $2.15. They were happy to oblige, back into $2, but in the last 2 minutes, just back out to $2.10. I guess if there's a niggle, it is the fact that it is very testing conditions out there, and he does have plenty of weight on his back. Tarvi Time popular, $5.50 on the second line. Certainly capable in the wet, and you endeavour thereabouts as a $19 chance. So really curious to see what Gringotts jumps, but to this point...
Hopeful rather than confident.
Pretty well looking for Gringotts. He was away centre field, but he musters up now and rolls into third place. Front runner was a more victorious initially. Sliding across was Sandpaper. Gringotts handy. Waterford, Estadio Mustaya marching forward. Front runner a more victorious. Estadio Mustaya got to his girth. He's parked in second as they leave the back straight. Just in behind was Sandpaper. Waterford next the outside. followed in behind those horses then by Palmetto, sliding up around Gringotts. He's between runners. New Endeavour, the rails. Tarvi Time is marching forward. He continues to go around the field. Gringotts just held up in a bit of traffic here before the bend as they reach the 600 metres. Lock Eagle gets going as well. They're coming up to the home turn. Estadio Mestaya goes to a more victorious. Waterford, a line of 3. Sandpaper. Gringotts has stayed near the fence. He's down near the rail as they enter the straight. Tarvi Time wide out as they reach the 200. New Endeavour coming through as well. It's Waterford. Estadio Mestaya wide out. Tarvi Time. Gringotts down near the inside. It's Estadio Mestaya. Waterford. Gringotts the far side. 100 to go. Can he do it in the worst ground? Gringotts driving at Estadio Mestaya. Oh, he's a beauty. We know he can dance and he can bang the gong as well. Gringotts wins another feature from Estadio Mestaya. Third might be back on the inside, Palmetto, or was it New Endeavour? A photo there. Not sure.
And who watched the race with me, he is a marvel. I mean, now he's taken his earnings to over $6 million in prize money. You've cherry-picked the right races. And what about Nash going to walk the track and cherry-picking the right lane?
Like Nash, I was very keen to stick with him today. He stick with the horse last start. He said he probably didn't do the right thing when he rode him the first time. And he said he walked the track 4 times. I said, well, you do what you do, you know. You don't.
He's a Group 1 winner as well. I think when we're placed in races like this, like the Gong and the Big Dance, you actually forget sometimes that he has won a George Ryder as well. Yeah,
no, that's right. I think he was the only horse that hadn't won a Group 1 in the George Ryder. So that was a pretty star-studded race, but...
And she just copped a really checkered passage in the home straight where she had to come extremely deep on straightening, whereas the winner cut through the field and took the shortcuts. 1, 4, 3 and 13, but gee, this is an exciting WA Guineas, and I wish...
Of light, off and racing. First to get going, My Authorita. King of Light got out of the gates very well. Going forward, he's 4th, Rockfest. A length and a half away behind those to Hard Solo. Back on the inside is King of Light. He'd be spotting the pacemaker 6 lengths as they come along the riverside of the course. Over on the outside, going forward, Psalm Time Lucky. He's off the fence here with King of Light. Ladies Pro shot up on his inner. Followed further back behind them, Statewide, then Bootlazy and Delta Sun. The last pair, Reuben, Sealing and Medusa. 400 left to go in the Guineas. They come around the turn. Fiore's about to light up the leader. He's a Phoenix. A length and a half, Asani. Followed further back, My Authorita. Ladies Pro, Rockfest. Pike goes for an inside run with King of Light. He's trying to bullock his way through. He's a Phoenix, the leader. King of Light spots the run. Here comes King of Light. King of Light gathering. He's a Phoenix. He's a Phoenix. King of Light. King of Light puts him away. 5 in a line. King of Light with a brilliant win in the Guineas over He's a Phoenix and Rockfest. In behind them, Ladies Pro and wide out Bootalazy. Followed then by Mile. He's a breathtaking 3-year-old.
On around that 330 mark. Western Empire, we did get a bet of $10,000 on this horse despite it drifting. It's $4 to $5.50. Super Smick 8 out to 11, and there are some roughies for the big Group 1 horse number.
Easily choose from the yard here. Watch Me Rock, our favourite, does look brilliant. I don't think there's too many.
Huge crowd here at Ascot. Racing. In good order, first away. Comfort Me jumped away quickly. Pike had no hesitations. Also springing the gates with Watch Me Rock. Coming across, Let's Gallivant as they race onto the first corner. Western Empire's going to lob handy as well. Striding across now, the Sydney sider Osipenko from Admiration Express. Depth of character stranded deep from his wide gate. Magnificent Me takes up the role of pacemaker yet again. He leads the way, Comfort Me. Watson slowing them down. Let's Gallivant running second. Back on the inside, the top weight, Western Empire. Outside of it, the stablemate, Watch Me Rock. A length and a half off those. Then on the inside is the Golden Saddle winner, Magnificent Andy. Around the outside of them is Osipenko in good orders there in the centre. A length away, Admiration Express. Then in between horses coming along the side, next of all, Diamond Scene. Back near the inside, Sentimental Hero, Storyville and Iona Merck. Depth of character, well back, Ginger Baker, Bustler. And Super Smink is last. Comfort Me headed for home. It's straightened Second up in front, Western Empire trying to push out. Pike goes to work on Watch Me Rock. Watch Me Rock joins Comfort Me down inside the 200. Watch Me Rock, the leader from Comfort Me. In behind them, Western Empire. Watch Me Rock, though, being willed. The stablemate gets up on the inside, but Pike wins another railway. Watch Me Rock beat Western Empire. Diamond Scene, Sentimental Hero, a bob of the heads for third. Then Admiration Express, Ossa Penko, Magnificent Andy, Ginger Baker and Iona Merck. Wide out then, depth of...
And 8 in the Group 1 Railway Stakes over.
For the first of our full-on dress rehearsals here this afternoon for HKIR, which is 3 weeks away today. We've got the Jockey Club Sprint system, and the favourite is the world's best sprinter at 1-1, the Everest winner, Kaying Rising, the Hong Kong Horse of the Year. And they're racing. And it was a good line away, Kaying Rising being sent forward, so too Beauty Waves and Wunderbar. Then came Tomodachi Kokoro from Fast Network and Helios Express as Beauty Waves up front keeps the lead and Kaying Rising sits outside him. Beauty Waves past the 800-metre mark, leads a length and a half, Kaying Rising who's dropped in. 2 lengths away, third Wunderbar from Fast Network and Tomodachi Kokoro. Next Helios Express from Raging Blizzard. Wide as Lucky Swain Estevano and Lucky With You's last of all, 500 to go. Beauty Waves is the leader. There's a huge shadow casting up on his outside and he just left him like he was tied to the rail. Kaying Rising, 300 metres to go. Put 3 lengths on Fast Network, Wunderbar and then Tomodachi Kokoro, 200 metres to go. Kaying Rising is 5 in front over Fast Network. You thought he was good before the Everest. He climbed Everest and he's better than ever. Kaying Rising beat home Fast Network and third's a photo. Helios Express, Lucky Swain S, Raging Blizzard. That's the stuff nightmares are made of for other horses, trainers and jockeys. That was scary, scary good. 1-1. We've seen him put horses away easily before, but he had them beaten 300 metres out. More from here shortly as we head over to Nick, who's standing by with the trainer of the Straight Arrow, and also Jenny, the big two going around to here over the 2,000 metres, Romantic Warrior and also Voyage Bubble. Who comes out on top?
Well, I'm going to put the 2 on top, Voyage Bubble. I just love his demeanour. He's such a...
Warrior v Voyage Bubble, and they're racing. Voyage Bubble first out, Romantic Warrior second out. And the top 2 in the market go down to the winning post the first time, leading from Straight Aaron. Sword Point got the best sprint up the lane here as Voyage Bubble leads the way. Sword Point second, Romantic Warriors coming up 3 wide from Straight Aaron, fourth the rail. Then came in Shun and Kaying Generation, and the speed goes on. Shaken up Voyage Bubble. Romantic Warrior went fast between them. Sword Point back to third. Then came Straight Aaron. It is Romantic Warrior taking the lead. Half a length over Voyage Bubble, and then came Straight Aaron, but it's Romantic Warrior, 175 to go. 2 lengths in front of Voyage Bubble and Straight Aaron. Take a bow, Denny Shum. He's back, and he is back in style. What a horse, Romantic Warrior. Beat home Voyage Bubble and Kaying Generation. Then came Straight Aaron. Next it ensued Beauty Joy, Bundle Award, Sword Point and Last City Blanche. He's something special. 1, it was a sit and steer for James McDonald. This horse has had surgery, a trip to the Middle East, hasn't raced since April, had a Triple Crown winner who had a run.
For the 3rd consecutive time at Flemington, was very good on that heavy track, gets up to 2,400 metres here, $2.70. The market is really keen on her. Aloe Cance was in that same race, was just in behind She's a Hustler, $3.52. Are the ones the punters want to be with. So it is all about She's a Hustler and Aloe Cance at the top of the market. I think that might start closer to...
The Zipping Classic. They're racing at the 2,400 metres. She's a Hustler jumped away cleanly from barrier number 3 as one of the initial leaders with Light Infantry, Man Allen, Kerr, Smoke and Romans. Etna Ross is going to punch through between horses. He's a Shocker, is also darting across to try and find a position. Meanwhile, Light Infantry Man is going to lead them at the post from Smoke and Romans. And then, so with 1,100 metres to go, the front runner is Light Infantry Man. Out clear by 2 lengths to Smoke and Romans, and then She's a Hustler, the inside outside of Alan Kerr. 2 1/4, He's a Shocker outside of Etna Rosso. A length of Lelkance, spotting the lead about 7. Next Interpretation, a Lelkance getting going 3 wide at that stage to the railway side. Then Berkshire Breeze. Further back is Braden Starco, Valika well back, and then Star Vega and Garachico. 750 metres to go. They start to pack. It's Light Infantryman from Smoke and Romans. A Lelkance is making an early move on the outside, and Alan Kerr's going with it. She's a Hustler's trying to respond up on the inside. Stoked up, so they're getting going towards the 550. Then Berkshire Breeze, Etna Rosso. He's a Shocker, lost its place. Kovalika passing it, and then Star Vega up around the corner. 400 to go. It's Light Infantryman, a length Alan Kerr. Then a Lelkance the outside, only battling. It looks beaten. She's a Hustler got to 3rd. Then Etna Rosso and Kovalika the outside at the 200. Light Infantryman with Alan Kerr throwing out a threat, and She's a Hustler staying on. Light Infantryman with 100 to go. She's a Hustler's wearing it down though. She's a Hustler up to Light Infantryman, goes home better. She's a Hustler won the Zipping Classic from Light Infantryman. Then Etna Rosso, photo 4th. Kovalika or Alan Kerr, then a Lelkance. Next Smoke and Romans in the feature of the day.
Another step forward in the career of the promising She's a Hustler, who's never missed the top 2 in 11 starts. Has won a Group 3 Tessio, placed in a Matriarch, did a good job in the conditions, and today has done an even better job. And there was
Winterbottom overpass versus Joker's Grin. They'll call it a race in 2. It's going to be a belter.
Well, he's glowing inside out, and he's ultra relaxed.
7 and... Telling us is that Overpass is going to be awfully hard to beat in the feature race this afternoon. Clearly, the punters want to be with this visitor from the East Coast. It's arrived in really good order, and from what we've seen to this point in time, from a betting perspective, it's the one you want to be with. 265 at open, slide outside.
They're set. Racing in the Winterbottom. Oscar's Fortune Overpass from the inside, the first to leave. Par's going to get it very comfortably though. Overpass from Oscar's Fortune early. Libertad, it lobbed into the box seat. Repossession 4th. They're not going overly fast in the early part. Then Joker's Grin followed by Benedetta. Ray Magnerio had settled back into the field with Rope Them In, and the filly Luana misses last of all. Par's in control of the pace. Overpass the leader, Oscar's Fortune stalks him. Libertad on the rails running 3rd, 3/4 repossession, 600 from home. A length and a half, Joker's Grin coiled up, nowhere to go for the moment. On his outside, Benedetta Rope Them In going forward, trying to loop the field here as they quicken, followed by Luana Miss taking off wide. Ray Magnerio looking for the shortest way home. At the top of the straight now, Par gives Overpass his head. He races away from Oscar's Fortune, followed further back behind them, repossession, Rope Them In. Libertad's getting up on the inside, Overpass the leader, 100 from home. Libertad coming at it, Libertad Overpass, Libertad, Ray Magnerio, they went to it. What a finish, bombing finish. Maybe Libertad. Maybe it's Libertad and knows Overpass. Ray Magnerio, Oscar's Fortune, Luana Miss, Joker's Grin.
A finish in the railway. Photos all round. Libertad charging at Overpass late. Wowee. Wasn't quite the race they expected, but it is going to go down to the wire. Well, it has gone down to the... And Libertad's got it. Wow, that's a blowout. That's a blowout. Well done, Jamie Mott, Annabelle Neesham and Rob Archibald. Well done, Motty. Goes to WA and wins a Group 1. That is a fantastic story.
The winner of 7 from 15, the real progressive horse on the rise. Since he's gone to Michael Grantham, he's had 5 starts. He's won 3 of those, and in the other 2, there are plenty of punters out there that 3-year-olds that have won this race. Lockie, Playing God, It's a Him, KC, Perfect Reflection, Arcadia Queen, Amelia's Jewel, and potentially today King of Light. He's the winner of the Guineas and the Faritha. And
the Northerly, pretty much every runner has had some level of support. A stack of money for King of Light in recent days. He is by far the worst result on the book, but I can tell you that Western Empire has been heavily commissioned today. As much as $11 was bet, he's now $7. Cosmic Crusader 7 into $6.50. There's been a $2,000 bet on the filly Pure Excess at 30-1, and
offered any tick of the clock. Racing. Zip away from the inside, clearly the first of them away. Into stride quickly in good order from Admiration Express, and also Depth of Character holding a spot early. Egan wasting no time. Western Empire comes across, and so does Osipenko. Driving forward, Diamond Scene as they hit the first corner. Admiration Express further back being followed then. Next of all, Watch Me Rock. The speed was really turned on early. Further back in the field to Cosmic Crusader outside Sentimental Hero. King of Light right back outside Sentimental Hero. King of Light right back there in the field. It's settled probably a dozen lengths from the leaders. A length for Old Filly Pure Excess in a strung out affair in the northerly. 1,000 metres to go. And the leader Osipenko had crossed them comfortably. Led the way and led them running. Running second, Western Empire. Over on the outside, going up there next of all. Diamond Scene occupies third spot, but just a little wide. Then Zip Away fourth, getting a gun run. In good order, fifth being followed over on the outside. Depth of Character handy. Then Admiration Express, the grey mare down on the inside of Cosmic Crusader. The 3-year-old King of Light is next of all. He's outside of Watch Me Rock. Hemlock Stone the rail. Followed further back on the fence, Ginger Baker. Calling it a day, Sentimental Hero. Vivier coming around the outside. Well back, Pure Excess, and last of all, Apulia. Osipenko at the 400 led them for home over Western Empire. Depth of Characters there. Also around the outside, Cosmic Crusader. Let's go. He's coming with his run. King of Light under heavy pressure back in the field. Cosmic Crusader reached the lead. Here's Watch Me Rock. He's coming out after Cosmic Crusader. Cosmic Crusader, Watch Me Rock. The railway winner cutting him down. Watch Me Rock, Cosmic Crusader. Who'll get the bob of the heads? Cosmic Crusader. Cosmic Crusader has won the northerly a half ahead. Watch Me Rock. 3 lengths away, Admiration Express, Western Empire and Depth of Character. It was close for third. In behind them, in good order, Osipenko. 3-year-old really hasn't shone at all today and suffers his first ever defeat. Apulia Never Likely, Pure Excess well back, and they're amongst the last of them home in the northerly of 25. A great battle. Cosmic Crusader, ridden by Clint Johnston Porter, gives Michael Grantham his first Group 1 winner. Cosmic Crusader takes out the Character, and in fact it might be Western Empire that does just get third, although he pulled up pretty quickly in the run on. It's 11-3-1. 11-3-1 and 2. In 1:48.48 they ran the
11. Taken has won 5 in a row, $11 to add to the winning streak, and then Roll On High, best the rest at $17. But as the race gets closer, the money continues for this popular favourite, Private Eye.
Clear, set, and they're racing. Watch Me Win last to leave with Here to Shock towards the outside. Limbs Kosciuszko began well from the favourite Private Eye Arkansas Kid. Zeus Sensation fourth, and there's Here to Shock who's pushing forward deeper. They were followed next by Proved and Taken the inside. A gap to the Fox Roll On High towards the back. Warney Watch Me Winners last at the 1,000 metres. Limbs Kosciuszko took it up in the Supernova, kept them moving a length and a half. Here to Shock, and third is Private Eye getting every possible chance. So too the runner-up from last year, Arkansas Kid, fourth one off the fence, and they were followed by Proved, who's keen out deeper. Taken next the fence, and then Zeus Sensation. Pinstripe White with cover. Hughes behind them, Jenny the Fox, and then Gumdrops Roll On High. Warney second last, and at the back is Watch Me Win as they run around the corner. 450 out, it's Limbs Kosciuszko with Here to Shock, who's breathing fire. Private Eye just tapped along behind them. A run appears if good enough. Arkansas Kid producing to the outside. Curry yet to push the button, followed by Pinstripe behind those horses, and then came Warney. It's Limbs Kosciuszko from Private Eye the fence. Arkansas Kid is joining in on the outside, and Zeus Sensation getting out. Private Eye drives through at the 100 with Arkansas Kid. Private Eye just in front of Arkansas Kid, and Warney late on the outside. A photo finish. Warney driving at Private Eye, and they were followed next in the field by Arkansas Kid. Fantastic renewal of the Supernova, and they were followed by Zeus Sensation, Pinstriped, and Watch Me Win. Hughes, Limbs Kosciuszko here to...
Well, Warney, we saw a devastating finish at Flemington in the Group 2. Lynn Lithgow looks to have got the beak down in time, down the middle of the track. That was such a brave performance. I'm sure, Willow, it wasn't plan A with Private Eye to be so close to that inside fence, but he's been able to lift and has just bumped into one with a close that was just superior, unfortunately, for the favourite backers there. But take nothing away from Warney. You go back, as I mentioned, to that 1,400 100-metre run against Zoo Sensation and Co. Zara with an absolute peach that day. Today ridden by Thomas. Don't win more than $1 million. 5, 3, 4, 8.
Yeah, great performance from Warnie and a great ride there. Performance from Warnie and a great ride there from Thomas Stockdale. He wanted to get to that.
50 metres to go and Yorkshire wins the Festival Stakes.
$2 million on offer for the Ingham, which is up next, and it has had an interesting history, Ben, being the Villiers.
Two favourites here, Gringotts and also Yorkshire. At present, Yorkshire is narrowly in front of Gringotts, but there seems to be a little bit more coming for Gringotts late in the piece. So Gringotts with 25% of the hold and Yorkshire with 20. Then you've got Sabage on that next line at $6. Estadio Mestea, $9. Rise at Dawn in a point from $11. But it seems to be all about the favourites here, Gringotts and Yorkshire. It'll be interesting to see what the money does in the next couple of minutes.
Racing. Oh, he's a bad boy again, Territory Express. That's him right out the back. And More Victorious was fast out from Rise at Dawn. Robusto handy. And Yorkshire's rolling forward on the outside. Stepardi settles in fifth. Followed then by Arctic Glamour on the improved. Duke de Sessa pushing through. And Democracy Manifest is racing through on the rails. Estadio Mestea just behind them. After a length came in Shudo, and Gringotts is slipping over and he's in a midfield position. 1 or 2 off the fence with Melody again, the white cap runner Victoria Road. Then came Sabage, has got several behind him from the bad draw. Tavi Time at 2, Salim, Lock Eagle, Yu Wang, and Territory Express is tacked on. Rise at Dawn leads from Yorkshire, 800 to go. More Victorious took a set. Robusto well positioned to go back-to-back in the race. Stepardi on the outside at Duke de Sessa. Then came Democracy Manifest. Estadio Mestea and Shudo there on the rails. They're followed further back by Gringotts on the outside of Arctic Glamour. Into the straight, Rise at Dawn being challenged by Yorkshire. Robusto moves up from a More Victorious. Then came in Shudo making some ground from Stepardi into Estadio Mestea. Yorkshire takes the lead from Robusto. The pair collided. Yorkshire straightens up, got a length clear from Robusto. Estadio Mestea's winding up. Yorkshire's running it again. He's a length in front though, and Yorkshire wins the Ingham. A half length to Estadio Mestea and Robusto third. Then Rise at Dawn in Shudo closing off. Further back to Tavi Time, a More Victorious, Duke de Sessa. Melody again, Stepardi. Sabage wide out. Gringotts well beaten from Victoria Road, Yu Wang, the last to finish.
Zach Lloyd adds another Group 2 to what is a growing and blossoming resume. Yorkshire gets career victory number 8 at start number 11. You don't build a record like that unless you're pretty talented, and this 5-year-old son of Snitzel certainly is. For John O'Shea, I mentioned he's won the race on several occasions, the first at the turn of the century, and now he wins again with Yorkshire, first time in partnership with Tom Charlton. The Estadio Mestea.
Time now for our feature over at Ascot. It is the $1.5 million Gold Rush. Let's join the team from Perth.
In his life, but I've heard Robbie Griffith speak in the media. I heard Willie Pike earlier on when we asked him in a post-race interview, and neither of them seemed worried at all about the 1400. They paid up the late nomination fee to get a start in this event. He was the best of the closers behind Libertad and also behind Overpass in the Winterbottom Stakes. He's just going to need
from the yard.
10 Cosmic Crusader, Michael Grantham, Clint Johnson Porter.
Well, wouldn't it be a wonderful 7-day period for Michael Grantham and Clint Johnson Porter and Peter's Investments? Michael Grantham's first Group 1 as a trainer, Clint Johnson Porter's second Group 1 as 1800 back to 1400. I imagine that they probably end up in that 3-deep moving line. This horse has got so much raw ability, so much X.
Bignerio has been one of the best backed runners of the day. $8.50 into 5, now out to $5.50. There was a lot of support for Rope Them In. $8 into $5, but has now got out to $8 again with big support for Cosmic Crusader. $5 was bet last night, now $2.70. But would you believe the worst result?
First away, Overpass, won the start. Aztec Ruler came out quickly. Comfort Me began okay from Super Smink. Oscar's Fortune in behind them. Iona Merkin also back there on the outside. Rope Them In. Followed further back, Cosmic Crusader taken hold of and dropped into the second half. Bustler Magnificent Andy anchored out the back. And last of all, Western Empire. At the 1,000 they go in the rush. Overpass led them comfortably. Pass steadied them up. Out by a length. Comfort Me strode to second. Aztec Ruler in the box Seat running third. A length and a half, Ray Magnerio, the Victorian, back in the clear fourth, followed by Oscar's Fortune, Super Smink. Over on the inside, Iona Merck back there in company as well with Rope Them In as they go to the 600-metre mark. Further back, Bustler, Cosmic Crusader, about to get going around the outside for Johnston Porter. Magnificent Dandy found his toe ball, and Western Empire's going to have to come from last to go back to back. Overpass gave them the slip. They turn for home now. Overpass shot away from Aztec Ruler. Here comes Ray Magnerio, the Victorian, setting out after the Sydney Sider. Super Smink, Cosmic Crusader in behind them. Oscar's Fortune overpass the leader still. Ray Magnerio taking ground off him now. Ray Magnerio goes to overpass. Cosmic Crusader lunging at them. Ray Magnerio delivers the knockout blow to win the Gold Rush from Cosmic Crusader overpass. Behind them, close up, Oscar's Fortune, Super Smink. From last, Western Empire with Magnificent Andy roped them in. Aztec Ruler didn't come on. Robbie Griffiths from Victoria takes out the Gold Rush. Ray Magnerio, Willie Pike, the Western Australian champion, has won his fourth Gold Rush. He won it as a scale stakes. He's now won it on two. Fabulous finish. There's Robbie Griffiths. A big moment for Robbie coming back to WA. A late nomination for the Gold Rush. And
IR day at Sha Tin, as you can see. Runners are in the mounting yard here, including the superstar, Ka Ying Rising. We'll see you next week for the
here on the Longines Hong Kong Sprints. Yeah, we'll get it right this time. Money back, Ka Ying Rising, for a win and a place. Satano Rav at 26, 55 Lucky Swain S, 40 Helios Express, 50 Win Carnelian.
Tom, I'm not going to go against him, that's for sure. Huge fan, I think most people are, that have come to have a look at him. I'm sure they have enjoyed having a look at him as well. Kept his cool, the handlers did a great job.
There's 16 in a row. He aims for 16 in a row, Ka Ying Rising. Cardham backs. Can he make it 16 in a row? Ka Ying Rising, they're racing. He was beaten out by Wunderbar, but he's too fast off the inside. Cardham at the back was very slow out, and he's missed it by 6, and the jockey's lost his irons on Cardham. Ka Ying Rising leads the way over Win Carnelian, going forward on his outside, and then Fast Network, who dropped onto the back of the Blizzard. The centre, Lucky Swain S, and then came Lucky With You, and Cardham's tacking on, but Oisin Murphy's lost his irons at the start. It's Ka Ying Rising, 4:50 to go on the sprint. Zach brings him 3 off the rail, and he has them all chasing. 3 lengths over Fast Network. Win Carnelian, then came Helios Express. It's Ka Ying Rising. The crowd lifts, 2:50 to go. He's 3 lengths on Fast Network, and then came Helios Express. This is what we came to see. 16 in a row. The world's best sprinter. He is just unbeatable. Ka Ying Rising has won the Longines Hong Kong Sprint for fun. What a horse, what a win. Ka Ying Rising first. Now for the minors, Raging Blizzard was there. Fast Network is not. Yes. Wunderbar, Beauty Waves. They were followed then by Lucky With You. Oisin Murphy will be walking like John Wayne for a while after losing the irons at the start. And Win Carnelian and Devano the last 2 in. Oh, what about that? That stuff of nightmares for other horses. Ka Ying Rising, 1-1. Whip not turned. He is just simply, if he's not the world's best horse, well, Calend again must be extremely good as he is, but what a win this is. There's Raging Blizzard running second. He's number 2. Say he's getting better and better. The man that can tell us how much better he is getting, he's Nick with Zach.
Fence obviously no good, so I had to get off it. But geez, when I looked at the big screen, I was a long way in front.
It was fully what you expected though today, wasn't it? I mean, I know it's...
Obviously after last year, we're a bit flat, but this year I think we showed everyone what he can do.
Last year's a distant memory. Well done, champ.
Thank you.
She's actually had some money as well coming, and but it looks like 1 to beat 2 is the way. So money back and money back. There's the connections. Peter Law, they've travelled this horse. He's been to Australia, won the Cox Plate, of course. He's been to Saudi Arabia. He's been to Dubai. Here he is.
Start right in front of the commentary box there in the grandstand. Romantic Warrior, the commentary box there in the grandstand. Romantic Warrior, the one to beat.
He got a lovely reception, Tom. The Longines Hong Kong Cup. Racing. He was first out, Romantic Warrior. Cheng Glory written for pace, so too Bellagio Opera. And he's going to hit them down to the winning post the first time and lead Cheng Glory. Galen going up 3 wide, and Romantic Warrior drops in 2 lengths away, fourth one off the cup, and it's Galen. 1.5 lengths clear. Cheng Glory second. Romantic Warrior's done absolutely no work. He has the neck arched 1.5 lengths away third. On the inside, fourth, Bellagio Opera. Fifth is Kissy Sana from Straight Aaron. And back last of all is Rusham Park. Galen leads the way. Cheng Glory's getting a little closer now. He's 1.25 lengths away. Romantic Warrior sits quietly third. Then came Bellagio Opera. Rusham Park wide out. Straight Aaron takes the rail, and Kissy Sana last in a bunch field. Galen leads. There's blue and white appearing, and that blue and white is Romantic Warrior. He moved up to take the lead off Galen. Cheng Glory's on the inside. Then Straight Aaron and Bellagio Opera. 2:20 to go. It's Romantic Warrior. 3 in front of Bellagio Opera. Cheng Glory. The leader though is Romantic Warrior. He's 3 in front. Bellagio Opera. It's history. It's cup number 4. The Warrior. In name, Warrior in nature. Romantic Warrior beat home Bellagio Opera and Kissy Sana. Then came fourth in either Galen or Rusham Park. Straight Aaron and Cheng Glory is the last one in. Oh, he's a megastar. 1.1 and 1. James McDonald and Danny Shum makes it 4 Longines Hong Kong Cups, beating 2 Bellagio Opera for Kazui Yokoyama 1.6. If you wanted to script a race that James McDonald could have had, surely that was it. He did no work to get anywhere. And then they took off. He manoeuvred up wide, and he's won by 2. The second horse has got a great race. He's only been beaten 2 lengths Bellagio Opera and 7 Kissy Sana third. 1.27. 4 Galen has held on for fourth. 2:02.29. Where is he? East. And now he'll move on, looking for another rumble in the desert against Forever Young. 2 runs back. Surgery. 2 starts at 2,000 metres for 2 victories. Where is he? East. And now he'll move on, looking for another rumble in the desert against Forever Young. 2 runs back. Surgery. 2 starts at 2,000 metres for 2 victories.